before we get started. Thank you for that. I like to see our numbers build up. Tap team, anybody got anything special? Kay, where you at?
Right here, brother.
That's my sister. So my sister, that's everybody who don't know Kay and Devontae, tap team, all of you guys are tap team members. Kay and Devontae do the credit repair, awesome service. They got a few things that they do, and Kay do all the growing and horticultural and all this kind of fun stuff. But she brought up, we had a conversation today, and she brought up a good point. And one thing she was talking about is people are putting, we try to tell people move to the country, move to the country, move to the country, but a lot of people can't afford that. So what Kay said, that people were talking about putting containers on their friends' property, move to the country, share with their friends, not living in the container because they still live in the city, but start at least storing up goods. And I'll explain that a little bit more in detail because another lady said, what if I put a container home on my property, a container and then build a home? I said, no, not feasible. Container homes right now, just to get a container converted to a home, cost too much money because the empty container they want $1 gazillion for now, five, six, $7,000, and then the fact that you're going to gut it, cut it, put in wiring, wooden frame, wiring, all that. Just buy a camper. Just buy a used camper and brick it in, or buy a used trailer and brick it in because the wiring, the refrigerator, stove, bathroom, all that's already built inside. So container homes used to be cheap when they were giving away containers for $500 or $900. But now they want $3, $4, $5,000 and better for containers. So it's just you can buy a used camper, and I'll show you how. If anybody needed, just brother Kevin, how do I buy a used camper? Show you how to do that because all the work is done. Put that on a solid foundation and then brick them in. That way you can even add an extra living room that's made from brick with wood frame and then brick it and put a fireplace. So you can take campers now and convert them. And people did it since the 70s. I've been watching this done. So it's not new technology. It's nothing new, but it's cheaper than buying those the containers. But what Kay said that was so key, and let's talk about that, sister, is that people are bringing containers and they're asking their friends that live in the country and their brothers and sisters who live in the country, we don't have a country home. Can we put a container here and then fill it up with the stuff we need for when we get ready to move to the country? What do you say about that, Kay?
I say that's a good idea. So what you're basically doing, instead of paying all this money for a storage house, gonna have your storage on your property. It's going to be, like he said, you need to have a good foundation. I would say, if possible, go ahead and you want to make sure that it's temperature controlled, because not only will you use this for your storage for now, but later you can convert it into a home when
Yep,
necessary.
when
So
necessary.
this would be the beginning steps, one of the beginning steps. So say, for example, you already have your property and you're wondering, how am I going to do this? And it's two or three families that you're moving out there with you. Go ahead, get you some storage and let's start to move a little bit at a time. Build that up as with your garden. Make sure you're doing your garden as well. Start building it up. So you have less to worry about when you have your actual structure out there and ready to go.
Absolutely.
You've
And that's
already started moving your big things, the things that you need. Of
the
course,
same.
you're gonna have to secure it. And of course, you're gonna have to get like a camera because you're not gonna be out there 24/7. But you're not gonna put it on display either. It's not like it's gonna be up in the front by the road because yeah, it's not gonna be something that's on display. It's gonna be probably towards the back of your property or the middle of your property anyway.
That is
So I would say go ahead and do those are your first steps, because you might have one person coming from California, one person coming from Florida, one person coming from Wisconsin. And how are you going to do all of this, right? You're going to gradually, just like you're going to gradually start to get ready and move. So go ahead and put your money together, get that structure on there so that you'll have storage that you're not paying a monthly fee for, and start to move, make some progress.
I agree with that. Start downsizing immediately. Immediately start downsizing and then start storing supplies, stuff you just know you're going to need. I'm so glad we bought ours. We bought stuff a long time ago. We started getting ready, and everything is so relevant that we bought that today, when you just look at the prices, be like, yes. because prices have went up on so many things. You guys see that every day. So put a container on somebody's property and start storing stuff there if you don't have your own country property there. At least when you do have to get out of Dodge, get out the city, at least you have some sustenance, some stuff already there that's prepared. And then do this. The people whose land you putting that on, not saying they finna let you move on their land, but they are letting you store something there till you get your 1 or 2 acres. At least you got a storage place. Also offer them something for the help because you do not know. You may end up having to live with them. And like Kay said, then later you can go ahead and convert that to a shelter. If need be. But inside there, you can put in tents. You can store external fluid, water. You can temperature. She said if you got a temperature control as well. You can store lights. You can store candles. You can store food. I mean, use that. Store it on somebody else's property for now because it's safe. It's out of the city. Those kinds of things. Do something to prepare. Okay. Anybody else got any quick ideas that
I got a question.
fire away?
Would a prefab log cabin be a good structure to put on your own property?
Well, of course. Yeah, why wouldn't
Yeah,
it be? Yeah, you
yeah.
put that. Yeah, just you weigh the cost, and in a lot of cases that's great. But absolutely, a prefab log cabin is awesome. You usually have to have a foundation, or they pour a concrete foundation or a basement around it. Because I saw one that was really small. Matter of fact, that's what got us up here to the North Woods, bringing my nephew to look at one of those, a cabin that a guy was building. He didn't finish it, and he wanted to sell it. But yeah, they're quite awesome. Absolutely.
Okay.
Good deal. And there's a lot. I was just showing my sister Kay as well. I was just showing her in Wisconsin. She said something there about people leaving Wisconsin going somewhere else. Kay, that's not happening. Don't even try talking people from leaving. I'm trying to get people to come to Wisconsin. But there's
So,
100.
I'm
Go ahead.
sorry. Brother, Master Ronald Banks put a comment in the chat.
Yes.
He said, here in North Carolina, they're renting to own Amish sheds
Hmm.
of all sizes and styles with low down payments, delivery included.
Yep.
This is something that we also will be doing, and they are a lot more inexpensive than everyone else that I've priced so far. Also, a good thing because they know how to build and they have good quality structures. You may want to have them also do the foundations as well. If you ask, they will do it. And they do not charge much at all. And for myself, delivery is free.
Oh, you
So that
showing
is
off.
something that you want to look for.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. So yeah, they got the Mennonite sheds, those Amish sheds. Those can be converted into houses because they sell all the tiny toilets, the tiny fridge, the tiny stove, tiny shower units that go in all of those. All those are available. So there's a lot of options we can do. Go ahead, Candace. How are you? Candace, you just disappeared. I saw you. You can't act like you're not here. Don't do the invisible thing.
Can you hear me?
Christine
I
had
can
her.
hear you. There you are. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I say, hey, Kevin, how are you and your beautiful family?
Everybody doing. Oh, Candace, let me tell you what they did. Somebody sent me some cookies. I ain't gonna tell her name, but she online right there. They sent cookies to us. Them babies tried to get all my cookies, Candy.
What?
Yes.
Get them. They can't take your cookies.
Oh, I'll fight a baby. They don't know. God bless you, sister. Our God is awesome. Never had a bad day. Thank you. God bless you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Just got in from work and caught you right on time.
Yes,
But
ma'am.
you know what? I've been not TikTok, Instagram,
Yes,
I've been seeing a lot of things by the Amish people. They're building and selling cabins,
yes, ma'am.
beautiful cabins, well built, and they really don't cost anything. And all of a sudden, if you click on one of these things, all kind of prefab homes will start coming into your feed. And so I've been looking at this stuff, but my thing is, if you get these things put on land, don't you have to make sure you're able to get water and all this different stuff on that land?
Well, yeah, you want to. Good question. Thank you. And I'm gonna tell you one thing before I go there. Where we still worrying about not being able to afford property, land, and houses, look at God. Because Amish wasn't advertising all those things, Candace. We did know Amish had furniture and that they built some kind of shelters. We did know the
Mhm.
Mennonites also built that. But look at where we are in the world now and in this country. And then look how the Amish are all of a sudden exploding, building things that we want that's kind of in our
Yes.
price range. Okay.
Yes.
So to answer your question, yes. When you buy that land, usually it depends on where you're buying, unless you're buying in like Arizona,
Hmm.
Nevada, New Mexico. unless you buy in those regions or some parts of Oregon and Washington State, unless you buy in those regions, water tables are fairly decent, which means you can put a well there. But yeah, you can have all those things surveyed immediately, and know that when coming onto your land. If you put a shelter there, you'll find what water's there. You're usually going to find water. In Wisconsin, the issue we have with so many boulders, I mean boulders, house size, room size in the ground. So you have to have a great well driller because they have to go through the rock and the limestone. But we got ours is like 86 feet deep, and then we're right out from Lake Superior. So we got that water. We got that water.
Yeah.
But when
And
you
the Amish homes, they're all wood, but I mean,
oh,
they look like cabins. They're beautiful, really. But I've seen some prefab homes that look good too. And the thing is, they're not even expensive.
they're not, and they're easy. They're easily to even insulate more if you need to secure those. Everything's laid out in detail, and I try to show people that. Versus now, a lot of people still doing the container homes, but I'm telling you, I wouldn't excuse me, I'm just saying I wouldn't recommend that you go buy the container home if you're going to pay more than $3,000 to $4,000 for it, and then the container itself, I mean, and then convert it to a home, because by that time you could have got the Amish one already done.
So you would think to go buy the land first and
Yep.
then look into something. Okay. Because I'm giving myself a deadline, hopefully spring.
Great.
You know what I'm saying? I can't do it in the winter, but I want to see the land,
Sure.
But at the end of the day, yeah, I'm giving myself a deadline.
That's what we have to do. We have to count ourselves down. Look, 10, 9, 8. If we haven't done anything, it'll be it's just kind of ludicrous. So we can't really blame anybody. You can't even look at God and beg him, because I mean, he says, pray not that flight be in the winter, all this. Oh
Yes.
man, all those things. Not on the Sabbath. We have to be busy now while God is allowing us this time. It's awesome what he's allowing us. So I'm
Look
going
at
to
one more thing. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, everybody. One more thing. If you're moving on some property, you and 3 or 4 people is getting together, you will be able to do it, right? You'll be able to put your resource together and just come together and buy some land, buy some homes. How would you go by doing that?
I would invite legal into this one, because when you're dealing with separate families, God forbid something happens with one of the spouses with another family, there's a hate or a growling or a fight or a fuss. And when you go to split apart, everybody want what they put in, and now they're going to want what they put in immediately,
Right.
immediately, and
Okay.
it creates it just knocks everything out. So
Okay.
legals, and if you can get that land, then agree who gets what amount of that land, and that's your area, and that's your area, but this your job and that's your job, and have that in paperwork. And
Okay.
one thing I've said always in the beginning, you don't want people to move into a compound scenario. Ellen G. White writes about it.
Yes.
Biblically, you don't want people moving into a compound scenario where they say, well, this is our compound and this is our area. You want
Mhm.
land to be divided up evenly so people can know where they stand, and then you can sleep comfortable at night.
Right.
You can share the workloads and those kinds of
Mhm.
things, but you want to kind of divide that land up. So the devil uses everything he can get. The devil
Yeah.
uses
Yeah.
everything he can get to start a
Okay.
fire, burn something down. So
And
yeah.
just get everybody's signature, everything on paper.
Piece
Okay.
of paper. And you got to know that, because I was talking with a sister out of California. She may be on here tonight. A person agreed to do something with her and gave her some property. All of a sudden, the person changed it. And if she put up a lot of money, all of a sudden, the person changed their mind. They wanted all their investment back. Well, this person couldn't afford that. This was a few years later. They can't afford
Yeah.
that kind of money. So now it has to go to civil magistrate, has to go to the court. And so that's why
Wow.
you want to hedge against that in the beginning.
Okay, got you.
Okay?
Yep. Thank you.
Not a problem at all. So God bless you. So we're going to have a great time. Welcome, Exodus,
God
to the
bless
church.
you.
Welcome everybody that's here. If you're a first timer here, make sure we know before the event's over. My brother Kevin Fuller, there Are People Ministry. We got our TAP team is here, and we're gonna bring a blessing to you through the grace of God tonight. This one, our sister from Exodus to the Journey, wanted to know something about doing business with the government, because we talk about a lot of grant things like that, and I hear a lot of people say, "Don't do nothing with the government. Don't do nothing with the government." Do not go through that kind of fear. I'm going to tell you what my Bible says. The wealth of the wicked is stored up for the righteous. There's opportunities to make money with the government. And one thing about the government is they pay on time. You'll have to wait 30 days. In the beginning, you may have to wait 45 to 60 days before you get that first check. But if you got a service they want, you're going to get paid. And I'm going to go through those things here. So what I'm going to do now, a recording is going, right? We're recording. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Let's go right here. And I'm going to go to this. Let's go right here. And then let's minimize you. And let's bring up this PowerPoint presentation right here. So can you guys see my screen? Anybody say yes?
Yes.
Somebody?
Yes, we can
Good.
see it.
All right.
Yes, yes.
Here we go. So at any time you guys got questions, go ahead and write everything down. It is okay to record what I'm getting ready to go through, and then we will have an awesome question and answer period. So what we've been doing lately is we've been talking about grants and other opportunities and ways to get money. And not all of them come from the government. A lot of them come from named foundations and philanthropist groups, even Kellogg and Gates and all those people. They still have money that they give to people. And a lot of times there's less work or less paperwork than dealing with the government. But the government has a lot of options. Not only can you do business with the government, you can sell them stuff and you can get things from them. So this is going to go. This is an outline, and I'll make sure that this gets posted for you guys to use this. Keep your minds open here, and you're going to see some serious income opportunities. Watch what I show you. So I'm going to go over some things. So this is the one guy doing business with the government from A to Z. Because we have a consulting company as well, I do a lot of A to Z guides that walks you through things on how things work. So purpose, teach beginners every step required to legally qualify, register, and certify bids, wins, and perform invoices and get paid by government agencies. Okay. Audiences, small businesses, minority-owned businesses, women-owned businesses, veteran-owned businesses, faith-based entities, non-for-profits, rural entrepreneurship, and sustainability advocates. Core focus, understanding all acronyms, certifications, registrations, financial requirement systems, and compliance pathways. Excuse me. What this is saying is I'm going to lay everything out for you in every business aspect of who the government buys from and deals with. And all of you that got various businesses, if you're a rural entrepreneur, you got a business in the country, I'm going to show you how to do business with the government. If you're a veteran-owned business, somebody who's in the military like myself, you can do business with the government. Not-for-profit entity, you can do business with the government. Faith-based, if you're faith-based, people saying, stay away from the government. No, I get the check. Okay, minority-owned businesses, women, small businesses, you can do business with the government. So I'm going to give you the understanding of the acronyms. Those are going to be, when you see words like KPI, Key Performance Indicator, there's going to be words like all the things you see in the government. I'm going to give you a class on that, so get your pens and paper ready so that when I speed through these like sam.gov and all those things, you'll know what those mean. The acronyms will be the 3-letter, 4-letter words you see. I'm going to teach you what all those stand for. As you go to search the grant banks, you guys will know how to be compliant with that. If I'm going too fast, just tell me, Brother Kevin, slow down just a little bit because I do go fast, okay? So this is going to walk you through all those systems and a compliancy pathway. With every loan and with every grant, just like with a loan and a grant, with contracts with the government, you have to be compliant. So compliancy is key. If you want to go to the bank and say, I need a loan for a car, and if you didn't comply with the orders on that application, you won't get it. If you go to get a grant, and you're not compliant with what they're asking for in the beginning, you won't get it. Same way with these contracts. So as I show you how to register, make sure you read the compliancy and be fully compliant with what they're asking for before you apply. I'm going to walk you through everything. All right. So A to Z structure on guides for this guide. The first thing I'm going to give you, and watch the letters here. The first thing I'm going to give you is acronym orientation and show you how to use that and read the acronyms, okay? The full meaning of the words. Then you're going to get business entity set up, how to structure your business and get things set up. Certification, eligibility, and application process. I'm going to go over that with you. Data codes, North American industry classification systems. You're going to see what that is. That's a big acronym, but production or products and service codes and etc. Entity registration, logins, the govs, the systems, the award management, unique entity identifiers. You're going to see what all that's all, and then your certifications and all those things. I'm going to show you how to get all that. Financial readiness. It's going to show you how you got to be financial ready. Some of this, and then having your banking in order, because that's where the checks are going. That's where the money is going to the bank. I was just working with a gentleman today doing his contract that's very, very large, doing his piece that's very, very large. And one of the things we do is use at least 2 banks in case there's an issue with one bank, because when you're getting X amount of money, where you get large amounts of money, you want to have that split between 2 or even 3 banks. So that is recommended. I don't know if you all knew that. All of your funds don't have to go to a bank. That's your choice because it's your business. So this is recommended that he does several banks so that all his income doesn't go to one spot. So banking, taxes, compliancy. I'm going to walk you through that. Grant readiness and grant applications, because doing business with the government is grant work. It is grants because they're going to some of the things you'll have to pay for up front. But when I show you how to partner with the companies to meet what the government's looking for, a lot of companies that have it will go ahead and front that to the government, knowing that they're going to pay for it. You're going to receive that government money. They'll front it to the government, and they may charge you in the beginning a few pennies more than what they would have sold you the product for. Let me drink some water. Good water, y'all. So I'll show you that. So if the government, for instance, if you got a contract with the government and they want 400,000 pounds of apples, and they buy it like that, they want 400,000 pounds of apples, or 180,000 truckloads, or 100,000 truckloads of apples, or what have you. When you're dealing with the Apple company, they verify the contract, the need, the urgency, all that, where everything's going, weigh everything up, all those kinds of things, and then you have a bill. They'll go ahead and send that off to the government. And then when that check comes in 30, 45 days after, for the first time, 45, maybe even 60 days, then you go ahead and cut them a check for what they do, and then you keep the rest, vice versa. Those things work. In some cases, companies the check has went to the person that actually shipped the food out, and then you get the difference. But at that point, after everything's done, you caught up. Now you have the money to continue on as a big contractor. Things start flowing your way. You'll see how that works. I'll explain that to you. Okay, so how to sell to the government. Procurement is how to get those contracts, how to get procurement contracts, how to get the product you need, and then how to do the bidding. Industrial posting. Industry posting, assets, trucks, land, food, manufacturing. That's going to be talking about whatever you have. If you've got assets, if you got land, if you got trucks that the government can use, if you got land the government can use, if you got food the government can buy, if you got manufacturing that can make something from the government, hey, you can do business with the government. So I'm going to show you all those things. And then Z, zero gap compliancy, which means do not have any space between anything you need to be compliant 1,000%. And even when you know that your contract that you have with the government getting ready to run out, you need to renew it immediately. Don't put any space or time between that. So zero gap, no space between contracts, no space between compliances, because that'll keep your contracts going on and on and on and on to keep that money coming in. Even if you want to restructure your company and put somebody else in charge of those positions, government never needs to know that. You keep those contracts going, because once you get approved and that money's coming in, you want to stay on that, because that's going to be money you can't imagine the size. It's going to be tremendously large. And please don't say what you can't do. Anybody can do this, because you're going to hire the amount of people that you need. I was with a gentleman who started his contract, because we do consulting, like I told you. He started his at $3 million, and it ended up at $30 million, because he found out what he had to do differently. And you think he was upset about that? He was like, well, look at that. And when they got done telling him, they said, now you got a $2.7 million overflow in the case of something goes awry, a truckload get lost, or insurance issues, or this, that, and the other. And that's where you kind of need to be. So we also show you excuse me, how not to underwrite yourself, not to underscore yourself, those kinds of things. Make sure you got everything there. So audits, renewals of these contracts. That's another place you can't have a gap. Renewal, immediate renewal before that things expire. Make sure you got renewal, and then keeping all your documentation right there, everything on site, so you know where everything's at. And then the scalability. The scalability is where you can grow in size based off what they need. Because if they're getting apples or pears or peaches or socks or stockings, and you're shipping those to Wisconsin, and they want to expand that to another place in Texas, you got to be able to move that way. So you got to be scalable. So you're going to be dealing with massive contractors that can get this product for you as you need it, based off the compliancy and what the government entities are asking for. Okay? All right, here we go. All right, so now I'm going to give you some acronyms, guys. So you got to know what these mean. So write these down, but this will be posted. So I'm going to go through these kind of fast, because there's about 15 of these little slides, and then we'll get back on. So when you see it, people tell you to go to sam.gov, you need to be able, SAM stands for System of Award Management. So these are where government, you have to register with these. This is where your government grants start. This is usually where people go first. And they'll tell you they're a federal vendor, and they have a registration system, and that's where you go, https /sam.gov, and then you're going to have to register. They're going to ask you all kinds of things. It's going to take you a while, and then they're going to let you know if you qualify. And then when you do that, you get okay, you're good to go to start. They're going to tell you everything you need, all your compliances, and then they'll set you up and say, yes, you're good to go to start doing business with the government. Once you get your login, you can go on and see every grant, everything that they're looking for. I don't care if they're looking for army tanks or hair grease. you'll be able to see all of that. And when I say hair grease, don't think that's funny, because I'm joking, because let's use the military as an example. In the military, there's black people, there's white people, green and gray people. All these people have different skin care, different hairstyles, different shampoos, all that. So when they go into the post-exchange or the PX, or that's the store that's on the military base, when they go in there, they're looking for products that they're familiar with. So the government buys all that stuff. So as an example, Afro Sheen, y'all remember that name? So the government would buy Carefree Curl or Afro Sheen. I'm going real old school just to give you an example. Or they'll buy something that, you know, different cultures use. They buy that from you. They buy that from the public. So you can make deals with all the stuff that the government requires: socks, shoes, name brand, clothes, everything, all of this stuff. So when you go in there, you're going to see that, what? I could have been selling the government this? And you're going to be shocked. Okay, so here's some acronyms. So SAM.gov, that's what they mean. I'm going to go through these real fast, real quick. Login.gov, United States Government Secure Login System. And there's login.gov, shows you how to get registered, and you set everything up. UEI, Unique Entity Identifier. So you're going to see a lot of UEI, Unique Identity Identifier, your official federal identification number. Okay, it's assigned in the system for award management. What that means is, once you get your UEI, that's your number. Like your social security number, for instance, or you got, when they call that number, or your driver's license number, or your personal number, or your phone number, when they call you is you. That's what this is. This is what you want when you got your UEI. Then when you get into the system, this is the number that's used when you want to do an award. You get awarded something. You want to apply for those grants and you get awarded. You have to have this. Okay. So your UEI is your unique identifier number. Okay. Entity. Employer's identification number. Everybody know that. That's your EIN number by the IRS. People charge you up to $200, $250 to file for your EIN number. Do you know you can do that for yourself for free? You can file for your EIN number for free. So www.irs.gov. You can do it yourself. If you can't do it, then yeah, pay somebody, but watch the prices. Okay, so you can do your EIN number yourself, but that number you need. That's like your business social security number. So you got your own social security number. Your EIN number is your business social security number. In the event there was in the event there was a situation where somebody has to get sued, you don't want it to be you. You want it to be, if they're suing your business, then sue my business. Leave me alone. So that's your, you got an EIN number that handles a lot of those things. Okay, and then your NAICS, Northern American Industry Classification System, defines your industry code. Defines your industry code. Are you working in weapons? Are you working in food? Are you working in agriculture? Are you working in construction? Those kinds of things. Okay, so there's an acronym for that. So you'll see a lot of that. PCS, Products and Service Codes, classifications for government purchasing, goods and service. PSC. Page code, commercial and government entity code, logistics identifier, assigned through the systems for awarding management, just like the other one, but this one's a little different. So it tells this is bigger commercial items, major trucks, all those kinds of things, and you can be a part of everything that's here. So that's why I'm showing you all these. So there's nothing here that's over your head. I'll show you later. You're going to show you how to match up with other agencies and make all this happen. So that's your cage code. Minority business enterprise, your MBE. Y'all heard that before. Minority business. If you're a minority, and if you're a woman, that's a double minority. You got a status. In a lot of cases, you can outbid. This is in some cases, you can outbid the lowest bidder, or even and you can outbid the lowest bidder and be 15% higher than him. Usually the lowest bid wins it. You could outbid the lowest person or by $15,000 in some cases or more, and still get the contract because you're a minority, and then you're a double minority and you can still win that contract. But so keep that in mind. There's a reason for the minority business enterprise. There's a reason for that. WOSB, woman-owned small business. Another one. You got to know about this, ladies. You got to jump all over. There are executive ladies that are multi-billionaires for the 7th or 8th year in a row. For the 7th or 8th year in a row, I just heard it today, Diane Hendricks. She's here in Wisconsin. Look up the name. She's America's richest self-made billionaire. They own ABC Roofing and Supply. She's here in Wisconsin. She built a town we just moved out of, Beloit, Wisconsin. She has a show now on her daughter. They're building houses, rebuilding Beloit. But look at Diane Hendricks, look up her net worth, and she does that. So she also supports like all the government agencies and stuff like that. She has a group where they also support women-owned businesses and all those things. So women-owned small businesses, the government do business with you. Acronym EDWSOB, economically disadvantaged women-owned small businesses. So this is talking to the woman that was stuck in the hood who wanted to do something, but she didn't have a way to get up and do it. So she was economically at a disadvantage. They have grants and contracts for you. Okay. One of the things people they were getting into when they started legalizing marijuana, God forbid anybody try to do that we know, they had, you was able to get dispensaries because you was a disadvantage. Or now you can be able to do business with the government because you are economically disadvantaged women-owned small businesses. So now you can have a business that makes hundreds of millions of dollars selling product to the government that they use. Shoes, cords, shoestrings, apples, forks, knives, spoons, napkins. It doesn't matter. All right. Veteran-owned small business, VOSB. Service disabled veterans own small businesses. So if you got disabled in the military, you can do business with the government. Historical underutilized business zone businesses. Okay. So under the hub zone, under. Okay. Been down there, couldn't do it. They got you. Okay. Disadvantaged business enterprise for people who just at such an advantage where they can't afford certain things, can't do certain things, cut off by certain things. In a small little town, you can still do business with the government. All there. Procurement Technical Assistance Center, free help for government contracts. They will help you. PTAC, free help for government contracting. Excuse me, they will got. I picked up a cough. Excuse me. Thank you. So they will help you. They've got something for you. You won't be left on your own with all this. And through the grace of God, we can help you and walk you through these things. Request for proposals, detailing government solicitation. So RFP, give me a request for a proposal. They'll send you one, or you'll send them. They're telling you what they want. You're telling them what you have to offer. All right. Request for quotations, pricing request for defined items. If you get that, it tells you what you got to do. You'll get your pricing. You send this, you'll forward this to your supplier. Now listen, they'll tell you, you will know because you can look at some of the previous files and contracts that they had on what they were paying for product, and you'll see market value. And then you'll know what you're getting it for, what your supplier offers it for, offered the price to you for. And then you'll know about shipping costs and weight and all those things. And that's how you determine your prices. So they're going to know that all those things are going to be in there. So they're going to allow you to add all of those things. So you may only be making, realistically, you may be only be making 2.5 to 10 cents off an item, so to speak, just as an example. But because you're doing hundreds and hundreds of thousands and even maybe millions of those items, those pennies make sense now. They make a difference. You may not sell them one item where you make $1 profit, but because of what you're doing, it's different. But then again, there will be cases like that where you selling the item, you get it for $35, and it's selling for $700 because you with the government. Y'all know how our government overspend. That's what's going on now. There are items that's so way overpriced. If you guys remember the Iraqi war, when they were in Iraq and they were using the SUVs. They were using all the SUVs over there because they gave them a budget. And they say you can get anything 5 times this. A case of Coca-Cola was $88 for a 6-pack. Not exaggerating. That's when they said the toilet seat was $84, $64 or whatever it was. And they was found out how the government was being overcharged for all that. That was Americans doing that because they were in Iraq and they was taking advantage of all the money. That case of 6-pack of Coca-Cola cost a lot of money. So they overpay for things like that. And guess who they're buying it from? There you go. So you guys know where you are now with that. All right. Let's go over a few more things we got here. Okay. RFI, request for information, market research request. Want to know what's on the product, everything about what's going on with the market, how the value is, what the product is, what's the codes, what's the reference, everything there. BPA, blanket purchase agreement. Okay. Recurring order contract, order that's constantly going flowing. You got a regular order like clockwork. It has to be delivered, all that. A blanket purchase agreement covers everything right there. And it's the blanket, it covers everything across the board. They may need various items in there. It's under there. Trying to just go over these so you guys have an idea. Indefinite delivery, help me out, y'all. Quality contracting, long-term order. So indefinitely, okay? Indefinitely. Infinity, it's just going to go. So they want a 10-year agreement, or they want a 20-year agreement, or they want a 30-year agreement, or they want a 40-year agreement. You want to be in there for a long-term ordering contract. You may also have to do with this one, get larger or get multiple suppliers that can give you the same product. In the event one company has an issue, you have to have a backup company or manufacturer that can do the same item almost just like that. And you probably won't know the difference except the codes of where it comes from a different zone. So because this is indefinite, it's always going, it's always going, it's always going. There's no end in sight because they always need food for soldiers if we're talking military. They always need tissue for bathrooms. If we're talking government buildings, they always need workers or crews or maintenance and cleanup and janitorial, all that. It'd be an indefinite contract. Because it's indefinite, again, you may have to have various other companies that you're dealing with that can continue to supply those services. And then you're going to bid on them because everything that you want to offer the government, you want to get 3 bids from them, from different suppliers so that you can give the best price, get the best price for the services and give that to them. Okay, so here we go. So that was your acronym. So now you're going to see a lot of things there that's going to have the acronyms on there. So here we go. This is a A through Z perspective that I'm giving you guys. We're just on B, by the way, because I had to do all the acronyms. So here we go. B, business entity setup. Choose the structure. What you want to do to set your business up. So this is for you all right now. Now you know the acronyms. Now you know you're going to be doing business with the government. Now I'm going to show you how to and talk to you about how you can structure your business to get all set up. What some of the things that must be done immediately. That's like immediately, but faster. Immediately. Some of the things must be done immediately to get you rolling. So choose the structure. Whether you're going to be a LLC, which is a limited liability corporation, whether you're going to be a sole proprietorship, or whether you're going to be a not-for-profit corporation like a 501c3. You have to decide which of those you're going to be. Okay, I'm going to be a limited liability. I'm going to be a sole proprietor, or a full C corp, that kind of thing, or a not-for-profit corporation. So you need to obtain immediately your EIN number. We talked about that. Your employer identification number. You want to get that from the IRS at www.irs.gov. So you need to do those 2 things. Then you need to register your business with the state you're in. So whether you're going to be, again, LLC, limited liability, not-for-profit, make sure that's registered with the state that you're currently in. Then after you're done there, you need to open a bank account. You need to open a bank account matching your legal name. So don't do anything bootleg or underhanded because they report everything. That's like everything, but more. They report everything. So open a business banking account that's matching your legal name and prepare documentation, operating agreements, bylaws, ownership records, and mission statement. Let's back up to that. So prepare your documentation. Make sure your business is set up right. And that's one thing we'll assist you with our company because we do full consulting. I don't know if you guys knew that. Some of you do. Operating agreement. You know, what the company is in structure, all those kinds of things. What are your bylaws? Lay all those out, your board and all your people there. Ownership records showing that you guys are a legitimate business, who owns it, all those kinds of things. And a mission statement, what do you do? What's your goal? What's your set to do? All those kinds of things, what you can offer. Make sure all that's key. So make sure you have all that set up and structured because these things make you a legal company. What you see so far is basically the same thing you do with any company. You just really do. It's just now you're getting ready to do business with the government, so they're going to want a little bit more from you, and we'll get into that. So now, for your certifications, these are needed before you start doing all these contracting. A minority business enterprise, state and local certification. If that's what you're going to do, then that's the one you're going for. A women-owned small business via the Small Business Administration. That's where you go. Register, sign up with them. The women-owned small business. You must register with them. Okay, everything is there. Okay, economically disadvantaged women-owned small businesses. Additional SBA, Small Business Administration criteria is there. Okay, that's where you're going to go. If you're a veteran-owned small business, you need proof of your veteran status. Your DD Form 214. That's a form that shows your history, how long you was in the military, if you was honorably discharged or dishonorably discharged, or whatever it was, shows your rank, all those kinds of things about you. So DD Form 214 or your military ID, all those things, proof that you were in the military. Service disabled veteran-owned small business. Now this service is for disability documentation. It shows that you got injured in the military, whatever the situation was, if it was deafness, sound, leg blowed up, all those kinds of things. It kind of moves you ahead with being able to do business with the government. Now, if you say my son or my neighbor or somebody got disabled in the military, they can do a business, but they don't know how to run it because they can't talk or speak, doesn't matter. Match up with them, start that company and work for them, and you'll have a very nice income. So consider that. Keep that in your mind. Okay. Historically, underutilized, remember we talked about this, underutilized business zones, locations, and hiring criteria. So if it's area like some people just use this word for example, excuse me, if you just say somebody from the ghetto or somebody from the hood or those kinds of things, where typically you don't see a person owning the business, but somebody want to get up out of that area, that's historically underutilized or unrecognized, those kinds of things. There's an advantage for you to do business with the government because you recognize where you came from. They do all the research and all this kind of fun stuff, and they give you the criteria. You meet up, you fill out these applications and everything, and you're instructed because you get somebody that'll help you, like a consultant or a counselor, a lawyer, all those kinds of things, and you qualify to make this money. So don't think you can't get it. So how to register for your certifications? There's a site we went to. You go to visit sba.gov, okay, and navigate through the contractor certification. So once you actually register with SBA and you receive your credentials, okay, then you get your login. You can actually navigate through those contracts and see what they're asking for. Follow application instructions for women-owned small businesses, economically disadvantaged women-owned small businesses. Okay, in the same way with the veterans, going through the various veterans websites, veteran-owned businesses, small businesses, service disabled veterans own small businesses, and all those things for your certifications. Okay. Search your state procurement site for minority business enterprise. So start with what's in your state. You can do government things with what's in your state because guess what else is in your state? A lot of government entities, more than you know, and a lot of military places as well. But not everything has to be military. I just use that as an example because we know there's a lot of military bases. But if you have particular things the government want, your state leases those. All the government buildings, Social Security building, that's a government building. Post office, that's a government building. If they decided to put one in the country, in the rural area, the government will lease land from you to put a small, tiny post station. I've seen one so small it ain't funny. You almost got to go out to put the letter in the box. And they lease that. So somebody lease that to the government. So they lease that land. They usually won't buy it. They'll lease it. They'll give you a large amount of money because the government like wasting money. So they give you a large amount of money to be able to do those things. Okay. So all that's there. Okay. So D, industry codes. Okay. Your NAICS, your PSC, Northern American Industrial Classification System Code, defines your business and activity. Make sure you have those. The example, you will have your own digital code. You got a 6-digit code. That is your code. You use that when you go to looking for grants and contracts, and you know your award. The award went to such and such and such. Bam, you know you got it right there. Okay, so whether you're food manufacturing, whether you're trucking, whether you're a freight business, one thing I'm going to tell you right there real quick, if you're a freight company, you actually own trucks, or got friends that own trucks, you can get government contracts hauling things around, okay? And you'll get a classification code for that. If you're a food manufacturer, you'll get a classification code for that. General freight, you get a code for that. And then professional training. If you can consult, if you can teach, if you can govern, if you can be a boss, you can win a government contract. There's government contracts for that, okay? All right. Use accurate code so contracting officers can find your business. So when you say, "Yep, it's me. I want this contract," put the code in. Make sure that code is right. It takes them right to your business. They do the overview, the analysis. They see that you're compliant. All those kinds of things. You get awarded that. Okay, so those codes are really easy. So entity registration from A to Z. Okay, this is going to walk you through how to set who you are up and all those kinds of fun things. So now step one is you create a login at the .gov site. So when you go there and register, they're going to ask you everything about yourself. Keep reading, keep reading, keep reading, keep reading, keep reading. Oh, nope, I don't have this yet. Go back and get it. Get everything straight. Remember, I told you how to get your business and all those things set up first. And then once you create a login with .gov, you now have access to start to going in and looking at all the contracts that they're asking for. Don't matter if it's in your area, your region, your state or not at this point. If you see something that's there, and then you know that you can qualify for that, you'll contact the companies and those things we can show you how to do, then you'll be good to go. Step two, gather the, so you want to have that login. You need that. So step two is gather the required documentation. This is what you're going to need to do. Your legal name, your employer's identification number, that's your EIN, your bank account info, and your physical and mailing address. Maybe 2 different locations, your physical address and your mailing address. Put all that together because this is step 2. The government going to want to know that you were legitimate. Okay, so that's going to be step 3. That's going to be tight. They want to know you're legitimate. Step 3, register your entity in the system for award management at sam.gov. So that's what you want to do there. And then step 5, complete, all right? Complete the representation and certification legal eligibility questions. Don't skip everything. Don't skip nothing. Cross the T's, dot the I's. Complete every single thing there. If there's something you don't know, ask someone. Make sure you fill out every single thing there because it's all there for a reason. Once they verify who you are, the faster they do that, the faster you get awarded. You get ready to get your authentication, I should say, and you be ready to go. Okay. So financial readiness. This is what you need to be ready for. And I'm talking about being able to talk about big money. Yes, it may not pay out for 60 days, 45 to 60 days from when they get the product that you're sending them. It may be a while. But once it does, it's like clockwork. It's every 30 days, those kinds of things that you'll start to get paid. Okay, so financial readiness. Business account matching your legal name must be set up. Accounting software, QuickBooks is number one. Use QuickBook or equivalent. Record retention and bookkeeping system. What this means is that you must have a secure place and a system that you can keep perfect records, and it must be and a bookkeeping system, and it must be secured. Make sure you got a great software as well, hackable, virus, antivirus, anti-malware, all those kinds of things. And best you can keep things offline. You understand what I'm talking about. Make sure that's all laid out. Tax compliant, local, state, and federal. Make sure you don't owe taxes. Make sure all your stuff is straight. Again, bookkeeping is tight. The last thing that's here that's very important, last few things, is audit readiness. You must be ready to face an audit at any time. So if you're doing your key performance indicators, instead of waiting every quarter to do something like that to keep track of where money's going and how things are being spent and what you're buying, do it monthly, because you got people that work for your firm and your company that do those things monthly. And that way, in that third quarter, when it comes up, you can go put everything together in that first quarter and see how you went. Did I overspend? Did I underspend? Those kinds of things. What did I go fall short on? If I underspent, can I fund something else that's needed? If not, I just made a lot of extra money. Store that. So then you do the same thing at the half a year, and then the third quarter, and at the end of the year, when it comes time for an audit, which could actually happen anytime throughout that year, when it comes time for that audit, you're compliant. Everything is awesome. So be audit ready at all times, keeping all receipts, all invoices, all payrolls, all documentation. Everything must be filed neatly. Pay somebody, hire somebody to take care of that. Everything must be locked and secured. So use the key code pass cards. Use any kind of antivirus, malware, all those kinds of things. Lock it up. That's going to be key for you to have a self-sustaining business because it's a government-based business. Okay. Grant readiness and application. So register at grant.gov when you be compliant with other things I just showed you. And as you register at grant.gov, you'll be able to see all the grants and things that's available, and you get to view what you want to apply for. One thing about grants, in this case, what most people do grants, they're looking for something that they can get X amount of money to do something they want to do with. This section of grant.gov, you're going to be looking for orders and things the government need so that you can take on and offer them that product. And they're going to grant you that opportunity to make this money by selling them, say, toilet paper or shoestrings or boots or gloves or tanks or pots or spoons or yarn or needles and threads and hats and coats and gloves, on and on and on and on. Every single thing the government buys, they buy from you. They buy from civilian contractors. That's what people can't grasp. That's why I'm trying to tell you this. Okay. So you want to have all that laid out. So prepare a capable description, mission statement, budget, and project narrative. So that's telling you to lay out everything about who you are. Okay. Description of your company is structured, what you have to sell, what you can do, what your mission is, a budget of what these will cost, all those kinds of things, and a project narrative. And what we set to do for you, sell you, cover everything that's there. Lay everything out in detail. You'll get help with that. Identify funding programs. Okay, United States Department of Agriculture, Rural Development, Department of Housing and Urban Development. That's HUD. Department of Transportation. That's your DOT, and then Small Business Administration. That's your SBA. So identify those funding programs, okay, and learn to read grant eligibility, purpose, and reporting requirements. Learn to read grant eligibility. It's telling you, learn to read how you qualify for this grant. Are you eligible for that grant? What is the criteria? You may miss it. If you're not reading everything for yourself, you may miss it by a beat. Key factor, a key indicator here is you can actually hire a consultant or another person or somebody in your company. That's their job. The people that love to read, they read every line over and over again. My wife's a reader because she does accounting. She works for the state. She does things. So she's a reader. She'll read every minute line, and then she'll read it again. Then she'll read it again. So you need that type of person in your business. Okay, the purpose and the reporting requirements. You want to know every single thing about everything you're getting involved here. Finding equipment. trucks, and property to sell or lease. The government wants to buy from you. That's why we're here tonight. The government wants to buy from you. How do you find what the government wants? In addition to hiring Kevin. Yeah, you do hire Kevin because we got an awesome consult company where we help you find all this stuff. I'll give you the websites right up front where you can find a whole lot of stuff. Teach you how to search all those kinds of fun things, all that great stuff. So the government wants trucks, land, property to sell or lease, or to buy, sell, lease. You want to sell it to them or they'll lease it. So here we go. Work with vendors. And there you go. GSASS, that's your disadvantagepiece.gov. Find approved manufacturers and contractors via systems for awarding management searches. I show you how to go look for those companies. Use commercial suppliers for vehicle, agricultural, tools, heavy machinery. I show you how to find all these kind of folks. You see it now how to do it yourself. So I'm actually giving you this and showing you what to do. Okay. Lease trucks, vans, land, building, storage yards, and staging areas. The government wants to lease this stuff from you or buy from you. So if you got trucks you can lease, the government wants you. If you got vans they can lease or buy, the government wants you. If you got land the government can use, lease, and or buy, they want you. If every military base is leased, I don't know if you guys know that, even though it's leased for 99 years, it's still leased. Imagine the check that person gets. Okay. Building, storage yards where they can just store stuff, and staging. There's a lady who had she got paid, I forgot what the amount was, a lot of money in Chicago, so that AT&T could put the cell tower in her yard, and she makes a lot of money. She gets at that time she's getting the check was over $250,000 a year just to have that tower in her yard. Okay, that kind of thing. So they pay lots of money for these things. So same way here. If you got something, the government wants to use you. Okay, procurement, how government buys. Okay, you got something called micro purchases. Under the threshold, fast awards. These are smaller purchases in bulk that they buy real quick and they pay out immediately. A lot of times they got a government credit card, government check, all those kinds of things. And they pay out real quick or just forward everything to your account, 30-day payout, all those kinds of things. Those pay out really, really fast. Micro purchases. Okay. Simplified acquisitions, limited competition, all those kinds of limited competition. So if you can make it as simple as possible, easy to get, nobody has it, you don't have a lot of competition, ain't got nothing to worry about, price is good, you got it. Request for quotations, prices based on solicitation. So people are going to want quotes. They're going to want you to market, advertise, say, now I can get you for this next year or these two at this price. I can get you all this kinds of fun stuff, all this, and then they'll put out what they're looking for and want to get the best price for it. They'll let you know what they're looking for. Okay, request for proposal, full technical and price proposal. Okay, identify delivery, indefinite quantities, contracting. Again, these are long-term contracts, long-term opportunities. They want to know you can offer it. When we talked about this before, I told you you're going to have to find more than one supplier for the same product. So let's use Del Monte, because I go past Del Monte when we're coming up the highway in the north. Del Monte makes your canned goods, vegetables, corn, beans, all that kind of fun stuff. Who's a competitor to Del Monte? So let's just say, is Libby still in business? Libby on the label. So let's just say the Libby's if they're still in business. So you want, if they say we want the large cans or the big cans of beans, corn, all those kinds of things, you also want to contract with both suppliers and, checking the grade, make sure it's grade A with everything you send them, because you can keep that going continuously, because maybe Del Monte can only do X amount because soldiers have to eat all day, every day. And then you're going to contract with another on the other side of the country. Those countries will partner with you. Once you're in agreement and contracts are signed, that food goes out like clockwork. They're not worried about the money. They're not, because they're going to get paid. Because if they complain to the government, you're not paying them. The government's going to drop you and pay them directly. But the checks are going to be coming to you. They're going to get paid. They know it's coming. So they start to send all this stuff out like clockwork. So what a blessing for you when you pay attention. Okay, those are indefinite contracts. You want to be a part of that, those kinds of things. Same way with garment sheets, blankets, pillowcases. They buy all of that stuff, okay? Okay, contracting, how to qualify. Must be active in the system for award management. Remember, I told you, you have to register. You have to get your unique identifying numbers. You have to have all those things in place. So you have to qualify. You must be active in the system to be for award management to get that. Must have complete representation and certifications. You must have all these things. I'll show you how to get those. They're there. Must have the North American Industry Classification System, that big old NAICS thing you saw. The acronym for that, this is what it's for. You'll have that. Must respond to solicitation exactly as written. In other words, if they're telling you, they're sending something out or soliciting something to your email or to your text or to your login that says, this is what we're bidding on based off what you said you can do, you must respond to it exactly as written. I'm telling you what they want, exactly what they want, how they want it, when they want it. Respond. If you don't, you get cut, so to speak, because you can't supply them. When they send something to you specifically, because you said you can do it, you have to be able to deliver on that, or they won't use you again. They go to somebody else, and it'd be hard for you to get back in there. Okay, so be understandable with that. Must be compliant with contract requirements and performance expectations. So again, be right on point with what you say you can do. Make sure you got at least 2. If you can get 3 to 4 to 5 to 30 suppliers or different companies, at least have them on call that you know this truck, the storm just hit that place in Tennessee and tore it up. That's all right. It's already coming. It's just coming from a couple states over. So make sure you know other people and contracts that you can get this from, okay? Other suppliers that you can provide the government with. So these are things that qualify you to be a better person and keep you going and keep the money coming in. Okay, I'm at I only got a few more to go here, and then I'm going to take, then we go to question and answer period. Industry positioning, matching what you have to what the government needs. So listen here, this is really simple and easy, not that hard. I'm going to wake you guys up to something that you don't know. If you have trucks, the government wants to buy it, use them, and rent them. If you have a transportation business, the government wants to hire you to come on post. Those taxi cabs that you see on the military base, if you ever been on there at the PX, you see a lot of cab companies there. They had to go through government qualifications to be able to pull up on that base, on that post. You can bid on those jobs. Hauling, if you can haul stuff away, be it junk or new stuff, taking it back and forth, the government wants you. I drove a military semi truck in the Army on the West Coast, Washington State, Oregon, California, Nevada, Idaho. I drove a semi. And we hauled the APCs, we hauled the troops, we hauled military equipment. However, they still, because Fort Lewis was leased in Washington State, Fort Lewis was leased, that land is leased by the military, they still have to give X amount of those contracts to military people. So if you got a military semi, you can bid on hauling APCs, which are Army armed personnel carriers, or military equipment, tanks and all that stuff. And you'll see them going down the highway on civilian trucks because they have to give X amount to the civilian people, okay? So there's a lot you can qualify for the government. So if you have trucks, if you can haul, if you can deliver, you got delivery, if you got logistics, warehouse, and storage, the government wants you. So if you leased a 300,000, 500,000, or 1,000,000 square foot warehouse, tell the government this is a logistics center that's open for us, that you can bring in your product, deliver it out, and ship it to other areas. If you're in the Midwest and they're bringing things from the South or the West going to the East, or vice versa, North going to the South, you could be that hub that they stop at, okay? So if you have land for leasing, storage, staging, training grounds that they can train on, shoot, practice, hunt, run, whatever, they'll take it. They're looking for you. If you grow food, how many of you looking for land? Stop looking for 5 acres now. Start looking for 60, 70, 100, 200, 500 acres. Start looking, okay? And then apply for grants to help you with that acreage, all those kinds of things. And then you can start selling food. I always tell you, cherry tomatoes is anywhere between $75,000 and $200,000 per acre. Okay, so you guys need to match up. So if you grow food, if you sell to schools, prisons, hospitals, military bases, the government runs all of these. Again, if you grow food, you can sell to schools. I've just been saying military, but now I'm showing you other alternatives. You can sell to schools, prisons, hospitals, and military bases, okay? If you have buildings, leasing for office, storage, or operation, the government wants you. They want to contract with you. If you have skills, teaching, consulting, maintenance, construction, the government wants you. The opportunity is there for you guys to have a business. All of these you can train for and go to school for as well, by the way. Okay, and now we're down to Z, y'all. We're almost there. Zero gap compliancy and renewal. I talked about this way early, but I'm going to tell you what that means. Renew systems for award management annually. So every single year you have to renew yourself, right? Less paperwork than you think because you're already there. What I'm going to tell you is don't let that run out. Don't let the day go by where your number is no longer valid because the year came, day 365, and you're done. Then you got to reapply. No, do it all the time. Make sure you got a team. That's their job. Keep compliant. If I'm your chief consultant, or you got somebody that's consulting for your company, or you bring them in and they're your compliance officer or whatever the title you give him, that's their job to make sure everything is on time. Everything is watched, okay? update your certification, and revalidate when necessary. Don't be lazy on these things, because you stand to lose millions of dollars, because immediately they'll give that contract to somebody else, because they don't stop going. Once they give that contract to somebody else, it may be 30 years before you get it again, because that other person ain't going to give it up that easily. So once they allow you the opportunity, please don't sleep nothing. Don't make sure all these things are done. Maintain all of your financial records, receipts, and invoices. We talked about that before. Be tight with everything you do. You're hiring somebody, that's their job. You'll be able to bill for that. Trust me. You're making millions of dollars here. I'm not exaggerating. Okay. And then document performance, okay, on all contracts and grants. Make sure you stay all over everything that's here. Don't skip a beat on nothing. Make sure you've got plenty of documentation on all contracts and grants. Keep copies. Keep everything tight, just like your receipts and everything else. Keep everything tight. So if you click a button, you can go right to this. You get a number, you go right to that. You'll have an accounting service, plus that you can hire outside or inside. You can bring in a full-time person, because you're making that kind of money. Okay, so you want to do those things. And in conclusion, my cough got better, so thank you, Lord. Your path forward, okay? So this A to Z guide gives you every step needed to enter the government marketplace. So now, just as of this short course, of course, I can give you extensive courses and lay all those things out. You can be compliant, okay? You can learn how to make this work, okay? You get everything here you need to enter the government marketplace, okay? Except for the oomph. You got to give yourself the oomph. What's the oomph, Brother Kevin? That oomph, the stuff that gets you up and gets you going, the power that you need. And I was driving, we were doing blackouts in the military. I drove for the commander. I had a lady captain, and we turned the lights out, and the people got to sneak by us with their vehicles in the military so they can go undetected. She says, "Okay, Fuller, hit it, Fuller." And I'm getting the car and gear, getting ready to go, or the truck we were in. She said, "Fuller, you don't have any oomph." And I'm like, "What? Oomph?" And that stuck with me. You got to be able to go on time. So get up, use the oomph to get things going. So use this guide to help you set up your business, register, certify, bid, and win, and then grow. Don't stop. So once you win one contract, and you know you constantly can continue to supply that, because financially your whole life just changed, immediately, thank God, pay your tithes, do everything you got to do, but start looking for your next win, and you grow from there. So listen to this one more time. Use this guide to set your business up, register, certify, bid, win, and grow, okay? Your skills, okay, land, equipment, and mission to do government agencies. You mission to government agencies, it matters. Your mission matters to them. They want to know what your mission is. What is it you can do for us? And that's exactly what we're looking for. We're going to try you out. Let's get going. So you can generate stable contracts, ready income streams through compliancy and persistence. Stay on top of it. Repeat the same thing over and over again. Be completely 1,000% compliant. Cross your T's, dot your I's, and be persistent. Stay on it. Continue to do it. Continue to do it. Continue to do it. And then when you get done with that, continue to do it some more. And then continue to seek new grants. Everything that comes up available. Before you know it, you got 50, 60, 70, $100 million coming in. Even if you do 2 million, 300 million, or 30, or whatever, it come in. Okay. So there are people in need, and there is a God who can help. Your work meets real needs. That's going to be important for you, because the government is looking for your help. So thank you guys for the opportunity to show you how to do business with the government. Right now, I'm going to go ahead and minimize the screen so I can see y'all. I'm going to stop the share on this one so I can see y'all and take it from there. Okay, so God bless you. Question and answers, please. Let's go. All right. Can y'all see me?
Yes, we can.
Did I put everybody to sleep?
Well, I
No.
still see your screen too, though.
Oh, okay. Let me
Yeah.
stop the share. Let me stop the share on there. Stop share. Thank you, my sister. All right, there we go. How's that?
Better. We could see you fully.
All right, all right, all right. So everybody has the opportunity. So we've been doing grants. You know, we did the series on grants, but we were looking at grants as to how to get money to do specific things. This is showing us specific things on how to get money, if that makes sense. And they're still grants. So this is a whole nother side to grants that people don't know. And this don't necessarily have to be something that's tedious for you. You can actually hire somebody. Oprah, I'm gonna pick on you again. I think we used you last time. You blessed us. They're looking for they're looking for guard dogs. They're looking to buy dogs in bulk. So we don't know how to do that. But guess who we could partner with? We can partner with Opal who does. Then we got another young man that does trucking. He got government, got contracts already. We can partner with him, and through that grant, we can make agreements, and we got contracts. Now, when we see those that we register for, we become compliant. Listen, I'm picked up a contract. We need 500 trucks. They got this product runs every day from say Del Monte to Texas to Utah to Kansas to Washington State to DC to New Jersey. And you win those bids, that money's yours. That's coming into the bank. You then write people their checks like clockwork. I see a hand. I believe let's answer that. Can you see me? Answer that. Do you hear me? Are you there? Are you there? I see you got your hand up. There you go.
No, it was not Antoinette, it's I, Kevin, which you
No,
don't
no, no, no. Stop. You in trouble. Where you been? That's Bond, everybody. That's Barry Bond.
I've been here, my brother. I've been here always, all the time.
Good to hear from you, brother.
Good to hear from you too. Kevin, just a quick question. As you know that I live in Canada, so these are not possible for Canadians, right?
I won't say that because there's a lot of companies that, a matter of fact, thomasnet.com lists every manufacturer throughout the United States and Canada. That's what they do. So one thing I'll say is there's contracts that Canada has that deal with America. So we have to check into the America part with Canada, that kind of thing. But if you're an American citizen, we know you automatically qualify. But if you got a good product that you can find in Canada that can be sold, and there's a lot there, then
Yeah.
you can match up with somebody else and partner. But we'll do the research piece for you on Canada itself.
Awesome.
But I
Appreciate
almost
it.
want to say yes. Okay. Good to see you, man. It's been a minute. It's been a while.
I know it's been a while. I
Wow.
know.
Tell the wife hello. Everybody's good.
Absolutely, everyone's good. Thank God.
Our God is awesome. The brothers to brothers is on the 20th. Don't forget that.
I'll be there.
God bless. Okay.
God.
The scene. Thank you, Barry.
Yes, good evening, Kevin. Thank you so much for that
Well, you're welcome.
lecture. Two quick things. One, did you receive my information?
Yes, I did. You did. You reminded me that I received it because I didn't get a chance to look at it. I've been that busy. But yeah,
Okay, I
thank you
got
so
it.
much.
And then the second question has to do with certifications. I'm just kind of wondering, like, let's say women own small businesses, who determines what category you come under and where do you get your certifications?
That's so awesome. That's so awesome. Great question. Well, I just showed you where you get the certifications. I just showed you that. This will be available because we'll post it so you can see that. Because all you got to do to get the certification is meet the criteria for what they're asking. So I'll show you that. And then who determines, when you say that, it's you basically. You
Okay.
pick what category you want to provide for because once you get certified, because you were compliant and you registered with SAM.gov, for instance, if you register with SAM.gov, you showed them everything you had, you showed them the business, company structure, all those things you got set up. That and you won the registration really to get your login. Know what I mean? That means you're now compliant with what they're looking for. So then you determine if you qualify. They're looking for 50 trucks. I can't get 50 trucks. Why? If you can get 50, if you can get one, you can get 1,000,000 because you're going to find a supplier that you match up with. Explain to them what the government's looking at because you got X amount of days to do that, and they're going to say yes, we can do this, and then you just got your trucks. So you determine that. Now, on their end, they're looking for new vendors and suppliers day. That's like every day, day, all the time. They're constantly looking for it. However, when you do see that and you read the compliancy there, what they're requiring, what is it you have to do, what is it you're going to supply, and then you match up. It's just not you to see. So when you structure your company, you also put together a board. If you don't know how to do that, you know what we do with the consulting piece, build your board of directors and we lay everybody out. Everybody has a specific job that they do. Okay.
Right.
So you hire that person, the compliancy person and the marketing person, those kinds of things. And they're able to determine everything you want to do. And as you guys get together in the boardroom, the meeting place to discuss that, you look at vendors and how to match up with these vendors. The vendors are going to be happy working with you because they're going to throw everything at you to include free samples to make sure they win this contract with you to be a supplier for the government. So we can walk you through all those fun things, but you make the decision on that. I showed you how to register, so you'll know how to do that. And then you decide by reading whatever contracts are open and decide if that's something you want to do.
Okay, so my last question, like if you think you're under women-owned small business,
Yes,
can
ma'am.
you hire a male or does it have to
Oh, yes.
be gender
Yes. Yeah. Oh,
specific?
no. If it's woman owned, you have to own it. That's you're the owner, but you can hire a
Okay,
CEO that's a
gotcha.
male. No, that's not what you can hire anybody you want. You can hire Uncle Chester. If everybody got an Uncle Chester, but no, but it's
Who's
a
Uncle
woman owned.
Jester?
And then if it's black, it's a minority woman owned business. But no, you got tons of men work under you. That's not a problem at all. Absolutely.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
Not a problem at all. Not a problem at all. So make sure when you hire me, we good to go. I see another hand right there. The hand's still up. Okay. Anybody got any more questions? Any input, any insight, anything you need? Where are we? Go ahead and ask that question. I see Exodus to the Journey just lit up the camera. Hey, y'all. How's it going?
Hi. Hey, Kevin. Hey, Kevin.
How we doing?
Larry and Lori.
Well, where you been? Come on.
No problem.
Was
Listen,
it?
quick question for you.
Sure.
The process, once you get registered and meet these criteria that you just listed for us, greatest aspect we have is that waiting period to these things, getting your business started. In the meantime, you're trying to maintain until that comes and come forward. What do you think would be our key for hanging in there and doing some things to make that process go forward so that you don't just find yourself saying, hey, I've been waiting, money's not there, I've been trying
I
to do
got you.
extra jobs, whatever. That's something that I think everybody kind of gets a little weary on.
Yes, sir. I got you. I got you. So, okay. So first thing I'm going to say is this. Never bid on something you can't do. I'm saying that and getting this out the way, people. Never bid on something you can't do or get yourself in something you can't provide. And then the next thing I'm going to say is going to be directly related to what my brother just said, is partner with someone. Partner with someone to let them know what you're going to do. In addition to the businesses are going to partner with you, and they're going to want to know that you're dealing with government entities. Excuse me, because it won't be the first time that Ford or Chrysler or Chevy or Nissan, it won't be the first time they dealt with the government, but it'll be the first time they dealt with you as a supplier with your contract to give the government vehicles. You know what I mean? But so partnering with them is going to be easy. So when it's going to take a long time for that check to come, they already know they good. But you need to pay your light bill, gas bill, and all those bills at home. So now you partner with a brother or a sister who's sitting on a couple, $2 or $3 and say, listen, these are some things we have to do and be in agreements of because part of this company is now yours. Okay, we need funds to carry us over. In addition to that, to answer your question, the other grant side of this with micro grants, those give you revenue. Micro grants now go up to $50,000. Those also give you revenue for your business as well to keep you sustaining, but just be compliant with what you tell those grants you're going to do. And what you're telling those grants is that you're going to put the structure in to make this business stable so you can work with the bigger grants. So those give you stipends as well so you can pay the bills at home. So don't sleep the micro grants. You can do 10, 15, 20 of those because those pay out immediately. 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Those pay out right away. The same way you set up for all these, the same registration you do here that I walked you through, you do that same registration and then go apply for those micro grants. The same registration I just walked you through, that was the same registration I walked you guys through for the grants, for the other side of the grants. This is the grant side now where they want you to supply them with services, okay? And they're going to pay you. The other one, they're going to pay you first and you're going to supply them with services. Okay, or supply the public with services, teen centers, healing places, all kinds of things. So use the micro grant money to give you the finance you need immediately to get things going.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Or partner with somebody that's got money, and then bring them to the table, brother Kevin. I got some brothers I want you to meet, a sister I want you to meet, and then I'll show them the feasibility of this. And if we've been sleeping all this, and I personally know people that's got these monies and just been going, you never even know they exist. They still walking down the street. Diane Hendricks still drive a little car, multi-billionaire. This country's richest self-made woman. The other richer women were the Walmart daughters. But this woman is self-made. ABC Roofing and Supply and a couple other companies she owned. Self-made billionaire. Yes. Okay.
You mentioned.
Okay. I see. What's that? Baltimore City Youth and Young Adults.
Hi, thank you so much for the insight. I really appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am.
I am a grant writer. I've been writing grants for the past 20 years, but I've
What
never
is
looked at
your
it.
name? Start with your name and your
Oh,
phone
I'm so
number.
sorry. I'm so sorry.
No. I'm telling you, listen to me. I'm saying that start with your name and your phone number because everybody's going to be looking for your services.
I'm Eleanor. My number is 443-577-7268. But I've been writing grants, but I've never looked at it in an insight like you just shared.
Okay.
I do appreciate it. I'm working with Psalms 91, Rosemount. I was invited into your meeting tonight by Brother Woods,
Yes, ma'am.
and I'm glad I did come. But the insight that you gave is amazing. I know how to write a grant in a heartbeat. I can set up a proposal, and I go into a state and look at their laws and see what they got, and I'm gone.
Yes, ma'am.
That's how I do. But
Make sure
I
you
never put
email
it
me and text
together.
me because we've got. I didn't mean to cut you. I apologize, but make sure you contact me because that's one of the things that we have in our academy at healingproper.org, Short Course Academy. We're going to be teaching that and helping people with grant writers. Sounds like you might be a grant
Yes,
writer
they should.
instructor as
Everyone
well.
should know how to do that.
So I need you. I need you.
Yeah, everyone should know how to do that. But I've never looked at an insight whereas to allow the government to purchase from you. I've written grants for John Hopkins, University of Maryland, and bone marrow transplant, and starting new business like Baltimore Youth and Young Adults. I can write a grant and grab money quick, but I've never looked at it from that insight that's a multi-million-dollar business.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, technically, realistically, seriously, without pulling anybody's leg, I will not lie to you. I can't do it. I feel my soul. It's $1 billion business.
Mm,
There's the reason why I say that, and guys, listen to me, everybody on here. Over $260 billion going unclaimed every year.
mm-hmm,
If it was unclaimed, 200 and something billion dollars, if $100 billion was unclaimed, nobody claimed it. We could have got 5 billion of that, 6 or 7 billion of that.
mm-hmm.
How many million is in a billion? 10, 100 million in a billion? Come on. It's a
And
lot.
this will be the first time I work with brothers and sisters Adventists. To be very honest, I've
Yes,
always done this in the world.
yes, ma'am.
And I'm real particular about what I put my name on with anybody because I've seen people come out with orange suits, and I'm not putting an orange suit on for anyone.
Can't do it. Can't do it. Well, actually, orange is the best marketing material. I don't know if you knew that. That's the
No,
best
I
color
didn't.
for marketing.
Sister, can you put your name and information in the chat for others? There's many people that want to connect with you, and I'm here in Maryland also.
Yes. Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Oh, really, 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 Joe St. George, how are you?
I'm God is good, the enemy is real, the war is
I'm coming.
intense,
I'm coming back
but
to you
but
in a minute.
thankful that God has given me the strength. Amen.
Everybody, that's Attorney St. George. She is there. Match up with her, please. And she gonna beat me up, and she has the right to. But do match up with her. I'm done with you, Baltimore. Don't go nowhere. But please match up with her because she's got a lot going on. She keep you abreast with the law. She keep you abreast with what's going on with everything that's wrong in Washington D.C. And she writes a lot of stuff. She writes bills. She do a whole bunch of things. She got a lot going on. So do match up with Attorney St. George, y'all. You got to put your name in the chat so people can reach out to you. Yes, ma'am.
Just did. My info is there.
Please match up with her, y'all. Good to hear from you. We're gonna talk in a little bit. Baltimore, ma'am, you can finish. I'm sorry. So these grants, these people are in need. I did 4 episodes already on and one more to come on these grants. And showing people how to get grants to get money they need to do everything. And we do all the prospectus, business plans. We do all of that. We lay everything out for people. We have all kinds of packages and things that we do there. So this time, I was challenged by my sister at Exodus to the Journey, and I like that's twice she's done this to me, and I think it's outstanding. So I'm hooked up with Exodus to the Journey. And the first time, she was asking, Carmen was asking, can we do something for a depression-proof business? So excuse me. So we throw that challenge out there. Excuse me. I wanted to put together a piece on what we can do for depression-proof businesses in the event a depression comes, like the Great Depression. We can still be self-sustaining. So we got that online. So she asked me on the other week, what do we have for doing business with the government? And I told her it's coming for you. And this is hers. So Exodus to the Journey does so much, guys. You want to match up. They just did this great thing on everything to do with putting everything in a trust, all those kinds of things. And so there's only one thing that really knocks a trust out. That's the biggest. Well, 2 things is one, like they did with Ellen G. White, the people that's part of their trust not keeping it up, doing the job they're supposed to be doing, or if the government enacts something because of martial law or civil unrest, then the government can really enact 120 more laws and really almost take everything you got and won't be nothing you can do about it. And they do that. But at that point, we don't fear because we have God, and we're gonna have to, like Pastor was saying, we got to get them go anyway. So we don't worry about that. But the things we can do now, we should be doing now. So there's lots of funding, there's lots of grants available.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's a way once you get it to detach yourself from the government. I do know that.
Yeah, but I do know this too with what you said, because I was a private eye for over 30 some odd years.
Yeah.
Even when you detach yourself from the government,
Mm-hmm.
and even when you got your land rights, your mineral rights, even when you're a straw man, a lot of people never heard straw man,
Mm-hmm.
for your
Mm-hmm.
sovereignty, sovereign citizenship, and all that stuff. I can tell you about stuff people didn't believe. When you fill out, I'm gonna tell you something y'all probably never heard before. If you fill out a grant for a loan for a house, right, and you sign $200,000 mortgage, you created $1 million. You created 5 times the amount of money you filled that out for.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how money comes into play. And they use the other 800 to do this, that, and the other. People don't know how people create money. And there's money brokers that show you those kinds of things. Then you got your matrix you, the straw man you. We'll talk about that later. That's the behind the scenes, your digital you, that person
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
exists, right? But the government, who they are, they still have a way to try to tear you down. So yes, ma'am. So those are good. You can detach yourself from the government. Look at the Amish. Look at the Mennonites. Look at certain people.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, but when they get ready, that devil can do what he want to
They
do.
can come and do what they want. That's right. Hey,
Yes,
Tim.
ma'am. Thank you.
Well, it's been a pleasure. I'm putting my information in the chat. I did it before, but it didn't go through, so I'm gonna try it again.
Please do. And then put our information in the chat. Make sure you have it, sister. My number will be in the chat. Please reach out to me. Give me a call when you can. Tell me your name again.
Absolutely.
Tell me your name
Thank
again.
you. I'm sorry.
Tell me your name again.
Eleanor.
Eleanor. Thank you, Eleanor. We got
Yes.
you. You're awesome. All right. And then I see matchless love. Matchless love. We're going to have you explain that, please. No. Come on. Can you hear me? Can you unmute? There you go.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Welcome.
Okay, wonderful. Good evening, everyone. My name is Joan, and Matchless Love is the name of my ministry.
Okay.
But I was wondering, Kevin, how are you, Kevin? How's the family?
Never had a bad day. Thank you. Our God is awesome. We get situations we don't like, but all the days are good. And I got a bride, y'all. I got a bride. Okay, go ahead.
Amen, amen. Praise the Lord. So there's a lot of information that we have been learning on your line, and I wanted to know, with the advent of the digital ID system, what is your counsel on how to handle that in respect to doing business with the government?
Okay, so first of all, good question. Wow, really good. But that's where we are now. We're in the digital ID phase of our life. We're in this thing where they know about every single thing you're doing. I was mentioning something around the house, and the phone said, "No, I didn't hear that. Can you do this again? Can you say it again?" I'm like, "I'm not talking to you." So nothing secret. I'm putting out a piece that shows you all the TVs. I just showed the top TVs that spy on you and in order, which they are, and everyone does it. Every television does it. Don't think they don't. Why you think TV prices drop? Then your digital ID, they know everything about you. I told people about the digital ID in the very early 2000, right before the 2008, 2009 market crash. I was telling people about that. That they're going to have your financial ID, your criminal history, your background, your family, your blood, everything, medical records, everything was going to be on there. So now they have all these things. So that's the world we live in. So you know what? What the devil meant for harm, God takes it and make it good. Use all those things, all those opportunities to take up on it to get what you can. But when it's time to go, you're gonna have to, where's my cell phone? Is it in here? You have to take that cell phone, you got to take that digital ID and those things and walk away from them. There is going to be a point that you're literally going to have to walk away from all that and let go and trust God. And the Bible talks about that. There's going to be a time of trouble such as there never was. And then there's going to be a time when your country property won't do. You thinking now you need to be hid on the country property. That's not where we're at now. There's going to be a point that you just got to literally get up and walk away. And that's when you leave that cell phone right there where it was sitting on that shelf and everything else where it's at and walk away from that digital ID. But until then, occupy till I come. Did that explain it?
Yes, sir. That gave me a better idea and a perspective.
Yep, because a lot of
on
people worry about what am I going to do about my mortgage? What am I going to do about my taxes and all those kinds of things? When that time comes, that's again the least of your worries. Because and then somebody was saying that they paid their taxes up and all those kinds of things. All great, if you can afford to do that, do that. But also, if you can afford to take money and rebuild the land you got, and even help somebody else get country property, which is one of our goals, to help other people get to the country. I'm trying to get y'all to come to Wisconsin. I just found 100 and some acres for 125,000, 109 acres for 125,000. Come on to Wisconsin, people. But helping other people is going to be key. So don't hog all your money. Don't keep sitting on all your money. And then look at the piece we just did on when they do a bail in. and how they can take everything. Don't think it's not getting ready to happen. It happens all the time. These things are crazy, and they finding ways. How is Wells Fargo still a bank when they did all that illegal stuff they did? Thomas Jefferson said the banks will destroy this country. Thomas Jefferson. So there's so much that's going on. It ain't funny. We're seeing a lot of that.
Right. And another question real quick. How would you counsel us to separate our personal bank accounts from business accounts?
They should. What do you mean? They should be separated in the first place. And I tell people this, especially if you're doing business with the government, take your X amount of money out of your account that you're paying yourself and make sure that's secured there. But then you're not required by law. They make you think you are. You're not required to have all your assets in the bank. However, don't tell that to Craig or Day. You don't want to do that. Excuse that. I'll just tell you, don't mention that to people in the hood. But you don't want to do that. You don't want to tell people your business. But you're not required to have all your funds in the bank. Now you go to the bank and they say, "What, you want $5,000? What do you want it for?" None of your business, huh? How about that one? But now they make you think you have to have it all there so they can control you. That's illegal. That's against the law. It's not law. It's not government. But do separate your business from your personal, those kinds of things. And then you're going to have to learn how to invest those funds in useful items. Because like we were saying the other day, gold and silver would be cast into the street. It seriously won't be any good. They'll kill you and take it anyway. Somebody will take it, but it won't be any good. But if you can take that money now that you are sitting on, and that's why I told people how to separate from these 401ks. If you really want to know the truth about the 401k and a lot of these retirements, they were never meant for you. That's why they raised the age so high. It was never meant for you. It was meant for you to die and leave them there. That's why food is so bad. That's why people's lives are being cut short. The banks are like ching, 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 ching. When we could take those 401ks and utilize that money now to buy land and your property grows, your property value increases, it gives you back that penalty that you would have lost from your 401k or your retirement fund and all those things that they're going to take from you. But if you just leave it there, they're using your money every day, and your money trades on the market 24 hours a day. Anybody that know anything about money knows what I'm talking about. It trades around the world because when it's night here, it's day somewhere else. And your money trades on the world clock 24 hours a day, and they don't give you anything for it except penalties if you use your own money. So you need to utilize your money to buy land, be self-sustaining, be prepared, and helping others. And God's going to bless you in a way you won't believe. And I see it every single day, to include now as I talk to you awesome people. So, yep.
Amen. Excellent. Thank you. That's congruent with what I've been learning.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
Bye-bye.
Well, thank you. You're welcome. And I'll tell you this, and I say this in a way not to be insulting to anybody, but listen to me. A lot of these things are truly, truly common sense because we've already seen and witnessed and heard of the markets and where they're going and what they've done in the past. And as we had a young lady on several weeks back that did a piece on dental hygiene. She's a dental hygienist. She's a registered nurse. She's a medical missionary, all those things. And she did a piece that explained, matter of fact, she'll be part of our short course academy that we launch next year. She'll be teaching courses and classes there, a medical missionary. But she did a piece about the Holocaust before she started talking about the teeth and how, as they started to bring these Jews under control, they gave them different IDs. Same thing they're doing now, different IDs. Sister just asked about that. Then they gave them a different type of money, took their money and say, use this money. This is how you're going to be able to buy. Did they just now do that? Did they just take our money and now giving us digital money? Same thing. Then they encompassed you in small areas and locking everybody down. Sounds familiar. Okay, 15-minute cities, all these things that's coming into play. Be leery of those things. That's why God is teaching us flee to the mountains. Flee to the mountains. Because you can't escape out of those 15-minute cities when you can. Because if you walk for 5 hours, you're walking right into another 15-minute city. But if you're in the country, sustainability, preparation, God, you're good to go. Thank you, my sister. Exodus to the journey. I see a hand up there.
Yes, Brother Kevin. Thank you so much, Sister Carmen here. Thanks so much thanks so much for doing this topic, and it keeps coming back around from various people. So yeah, when you and I chatted, I was like, yeah, what do you got on this? So, but yeah, we know time is of the essence here, in whatever we're going to do, because things are changing so quickly. A lot of things are happening in the financial markets and so forth as well. So whatever we got to do, we got to get going. So my question is, can you break down, because I know that the government, just based on research and things that I've heard from other people who are doing the government contracting, can you break down some of the areas in more detail as far as some of the possibilities? Because I know that we tend to think in terms of punching a clock.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. But some of us have skills, have degrees, etc., and training in specific areas. And, I think it's hard for us to kind of translate that to what we're talking about here. So,
Sure.
for example, service contracts. Now, I can just throw out a couple. I just, in some research I was looking at, shucks, the government doesn't mow its own lawns for any
It
of
does
its
not.
buildings or grounds. So
It
that's a
don't.
contract. So
It don't
somebody's
clean
going
his
to
own.
lump
It
it.
don't clean his own bathrooms.
Yeah. And to give you an example, with the boot camp that we just had back in September, uh, the park had told me something. Is it was a state park because it's not just federal government, but it's also state, county, and local.
Local government.
Okay. So yeah, we just think of contracts being federal, but it's a lot more than that. You might have stuff sitting in your backyard. For example, this state park down the road from me, literally down the road from me, the man was telling me, the park manager, he was telling me that they contract out the cleaning of all the cabins and also for the laundry. It now has clicked with me that that was a state contract that somebody bid that they could actually do. So if you have a house cleaning business or you go and do janitorial work or something like that, there are contracts to do those types of things out there. But can you speak to, just some of the other service contracts that are out there? Because there's service contracts and then there are product contracts, and then there are some that are a combination of both. And like you said, some of them can be long term, some of them can be one and done. I was listening to somebody else. They were looking for somebody to bid to replace a sound system. So it was the equipment and also putting it all in
I
and
actually
stuff
saw
like
that
that.
bid. I actually saw that bid. That's funny you said that.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
so if you
yes,
could just elaborate on that, because I know that there are people on here that are into IT. Somebody had put something in the chat. There are people who do other things and whatnot, and some of them might even be in government positions or other corporate things, or they are project managers, et cetera, et cetera. Event planners.
I got
What
you.
is out there for people in the service sector?
Everything. I worked for a company, Kettle or Kettle. We make the Kettle potato chips, Campbell Soup. So I used to work for. And Campbell Soup owns so many companies, it ain't funny. All of that food you can sell to the military and or schools, states, stores, all those kinds of things. All those contracts are open. Where to buy from, how to vend, carpet cleaning, cleaning all the post offices, painting. You got a painting business, drywalling, roofing, electrician. All of those, everything you can think of, plumbing, detailing cars, cleaning by the fleet, the post office, going in there, post office to clean the vehicles, all those things. All of those contracts are wide open. All of those contracts are wide open. Mechanics, places to park, places to store their vehicles. My wife worked for the state, and we're in Beloit, Wisconsin, which is the first city when you come into Wisconsin. And she worked in Madison, which is where the capital was. So they had a fleet of vans that would drive from Beloit to Madison and pick everybody up in all the towns in between. So there was a lot that they rented, and then they stored the vans. And when the vans are done, they store them there. They're paying somebody to store these fleet of vans that's owned by the state there. Somebody won that contract. Somebody won that contract to buy the vans, to supply the vans. Somebody won the contract to drive the vans. So every single thing you guys do for a job, there's a contract you can bid for to sell that service to the government. They're looking for consultants. They're looking for teachers. They're looking for lawyers. They're looking for entrepreneurs. They're looking for people that's got management skills, maintenance skills, direction skills, all kinds of things. For city jobs, state jobs, they got bids and contracts and all those things. They're looking to award money to people that can provide supplies and equipment. So that's why I tell people about places like thomasnet.com. A guy called me today and said, I went there, but it looks like these are manufacturers and they want you to have a license to be able to buy. Well, yeah, they do. They're manufacturers. They want you to be able to buy 500,000 tractors or 10 trucks or whatever, refrigerators. You're getting them right from the manufacturer and you can sell them right to the government. So every single service that you see today, Carmen mentioned something that was so key. It's not the Army military part we're looking at all the time. It's state, federal, state, and local. You got local government right in your town. You walk into the Social Security Administration office in your town. That's government. That's government. That's federal. You walk into the post office, you walk into all kinds of things. But all these, there's other buildings you won't even know that's federal. All these have contracts that you bid on. I saw the contract she was talking about where they wanted stereo equipment or speakers and PAs and all this stuff replaced, radios and communication devices, cars, fleets of cars, tires, teams to do all this stuff, all these things. It's unlimited what you can contract for. Oranges, each soldier needs X amount of fruit every day. My sister, Attorney St. George, she does a lot with colleges and things like that. Matter of fact, you were trying to do something to get food into colleges, get them green ready, get them eating real right and healthy, right? I'm telling a bit of your business. But each student needs X amount of food, don't they? They eat certain amount of foods. They need X amount of this per student per day. Same way with the military. Each soldier needs X amount of apples, peaches, pears, greens, chicken, potatoes, all of that per day, per soldier there. Even when they go out into the field, all of those contracts are open for bid. Every single thing. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, no, thank you. And I mean, just, just to get people's minds kind of simulated and thinking, okay, well, I don't know where I would start or whatnot. But I'm just hearing that there is just a plethora of opportunity out there, not just the money for it, but there's some people that actually work alongside civilian contractors in their government position.
And
And
do
they're
it.
doing the exact same thing. But you might be government employed or you might be the contracted person, but you're working alongside of, the other person that is on the opposite side of the spectrum, but you're doing the exact same thing, exact same duties, exact same titles, etc. So yeah, so no, I just wanted to bring that out just so that people can see that there is opportunity here for them to be able to do and find something, and you don't have to be highly skilled, necessarily in a certain area. But I mean, yeah, if you can clean, you can clean. If you want a service contract, yeah. So,
I
okay.
owned a company called Carpet Doctors way back in the day, carpet furniture and drapery cleaning, and I had a yellow page ad, cost all kinds of money to run that thing. But we got a call. It was in Chicago, so we got a call from Mosque Mariam. Anybody know that place by name? But that's where Minister Louis Farrakhan was. That's the main Mosque Mariam, where Elijah Muhammad used to be. And they called me because they didn't want to contract that job to anybody else that wasn't black. So I had one of the biggest black that they knew of carpet cleaning companies. So they went all through the yellow pages till they found me and called me, and I got to go in there and clean the carpet, clean the chairs. Every time I go to the car to get shampoo, anything else, or the truck, I had to come back in and get searched all over again. They're not letting a safety pin come in there. But I got that contract because they didn't want to deal with other people. There are contracts that you get just based off what you do. Then there's contracts you can partner with. So when I did grant episode 3 and 4, I showed you guys, I literally gave you names of various companies that you can partner with to do $50-60 million contracts. You're going to get that also with episode 5. You're going to get, because this takes you up to several $billions, and it takes you low all the way up high. But it shows you, I even actually give you the names in episode 4. I even gave you guys the names of the food companies that supply the big militaries, the colleges, the schools, and all those things. The colleges and schools, a lot of those are federally funded. So those bids are out there as well. You guys can match up with Del Monte or Dole or anybody else to sell that food. Listen, I got a contract with the government. They need X and X amount of dollars. What price can I get them from you for? Blah, blah, blah. They're going to give you the whole layout. I'll walk you through all that kind of stuff. Then you get your attorney, like Attorney St. George, you get your attorneys that specialize in those areas. That if she don't, somebody else does, and she knows somebody, get somebody else on your team, get your accountants in there, all those things. And you know the numbers, you do the pennies, work the numbers, and you get checks coming back. And then the brother says, from Exodus to the journey, what do you do to tide you over? Look at the other spectrum with the grants is look at the micro grants that launch your business and get you going, and use those. Okay, just be compliant again with what those grants asking you to do, and your stipends are in there. And as you apply for multiple grants like that, those monies come in and hold you over. Those pay out immediately. Again, like I said, 2 weeks to 30 days in some cases. Some of the bigger grants sometimes it's like they say 160 to 180 days. Some of them sometimes takes and been known to take 2 to 3 years. And my sister that does the grants that was just on here can tell you some people have to wait a while. But the government, once they get paying, you're gonna get your check from them. Okay, so there's so many opportunities that's there. Okay, so thank you. I see
Yep.
Exodus to the journey, then I see Victoria.
Yep. Nope. I'm done. So I just want to say thank you for that. And I was just going to say also, I've been hearing that there's a lot of opportunity for people in mental health. There's a lot of need within government
Tremendous.
for mental health. So
Yep.
just want to throw that out there.
I just did a piece on that today for someone, for a client, that is going to be offering that, and the youth. And it was like 18 to a certain age. Now it's starting at 14 because the mental health issues on the youth. They're getting them to do. They're committing murders like you would not believe at a rampant pace. Well, we would, because we know where we are. But before their real psyche is developed, if you don't catch a kid by the time he's 13, you ain't gonna hardly be able to tell him what to do. That's why the Bible says, "You spare the rod, you spoil the child." And so the gang people, they knew that. Even the cartel, they started training kids to teach them to kill at an early age, as they're doing in some of the other countries, because they get them before they develop that psyche and that conscious thing. But when they really come to an age where they kind of recognize that their life is messed up, they need help. So there's a lot of mental health. So now this young man is doing this grant, he's looking at young men from 14 up and teaching them skills and bringing them to understanding who they are immediately, trying to catch them before they get taken out. But there's lots of help and money available for anything that can help with people with mental health. Lots of money available. Thank you. Victoria. Then I see Emma.
Good evening, sir. Of course, I appreciate everything that you share. And I just wanted to tie what you shared tonight with the presentation that Exodus and the Journey had last week, where the gentleman was talking about ministry and how he's using his skill set, his ministry, in within his business model. And so, just to give some people some ideas, even with what you were just saying about the mental health aspect of needs, in our communities, that could be a ministry. And so for a lot of events, for myself, I held a ministry position in church where I worked with children, and that experience taught me so much, and how to handle, how to manage certain systems, and keep things organized and that kind of thing. And so I just wanted to use that to kind of just give people ideas, that if they may have the skill sets that they need to start a new business. If you have an idea, look into that and see if you can develop your ministry even more, and use that. And last aspect is something that the gentleman mentioned in the presentation with Exodus and the Journey last week, is he's actually used Ellen White's writings to pull out different aspects of ministry and how different businesses should be run. So that's another example for people. Like, if you need things to study up on, can't go wrong with studying up, with our sister Ellen White. So just wanted to add those things.
Yes, ma'am. I use her writings all the time because it's a role model. It's a roadmap, I should say. It's guidance and it's direction. The Bible gives you a lot as well on direction with business and using common sense. But we won't do it. For some reason, we refuse, not saying everybody, but we won't work together. And if we can literally come together like other cultures, other people, other religions, look at the Mormons, one of the richest foundations. Look at the Catholic Church. Look at, oh my goodness. And look where other people are, and then look at us. And then the Bible says, such a be, great falling away. We now know these things are happening, not going to happen. We know these things are happening. So we need more than ever now to pool our resources, or to come together to at least help each other and partner with each other. $50 from each person matching up together can go a long ways, even to get the attorney to put the paperwork to show now all y'all can get land, and then all y'all can live on this part of the land. Now all y'all can grow and meet together to cultivate and harvest, and somebody marketing, somebody selling, somebody driving, somebody picking, somebody storaging. And now you guys got resources, you got money coming in, and you're self-sustaining, and you're in the country, you on your own. We just need to see that and work together. Ellen G. White puts a lot of writings out there about that. The Bible talks about that. We just need to work together and then occupy people. Let's get busy. So thank you, my sister, for that input.
Emma. Good night, Kevin. Elma. Elma, right?
Emma.
Okay. Elma, just with the L. It sounds Elma.
I'm going to do it, but that's going to cost you a carrot cake if I got to say it like that.
That's okay. That's okay.
Okay.
Is these contracts, are they offered to people with disability or challenges? And the next thing is that, is language play part in these contracts? Can you use that or no? As a skill? No.
So two questions you asked, and both of them were outstanding, and I'm so grateful you did ask that. remember, I showed you two in this presentation were disadvantaged and then where you were disabled. That's here. Those get you a great status with qualifying for these grants. And then the language, you mean because you have an accent or something? No, language has no barrier here, because what people miss is as you structure your company, you can hire who you want. You can hire a spokesperson. If you had no arms, okay, you'll hire the person with arms, but you're the boss. You know what I mean? You're the boss. You call the shots. You can even be the boss and still hire a CEO, so to speak. Okay. You can hire all doctors. All you do is sell the service. And when the checks come in, you write the doctor his checks. They go on about your business, doctor, go on about your business. So no, we just don't know those things because you don't typically see that. So no, race doesn't technically play an issue. It gives you some better insights here. Being having an accent or different language, there's no barrier issue here, because a lot of things are things you're applying for, meeting the criteria, as long as you're compliant and everything's laid out and structurally sound, done up. There's attorneys here, there's a grant writer here, there's other people here that can tell you other ways to get everything done there. Everything's all good, and you'll be good to go. If you have a disability or all those kinds of things, no, that doesn't disqualify you.
What I was asking with that is that if you have a skill, if you have a second language, can it be used as a skill in when you're talking about these contracts? Yes. Okay, that's what I wanted to know.
Okay, yes, absolutely. I'll tell you something else. If you got a second language, listen to me, guys. The government is hiring you, and especially if you got more than two languages, but if you got a third or fourth language, it's key, because they're looking for people for the clandestine. They call it the clandestine piece, where they're hiring you to be translators. And sometimes you're just sitting in rooms listening to radios and stuff like that, but you also representatives to work with various people as they tour different countries and go around the world, all those kinds of things, and even to work with people as they bring them here. So if you got multiple languages, there's openings for you right now. There's jobs and contracts and grants for you to translate, to type, to teach, to do all kinds of things, to interpret. There's a lot of money available there as well.
Thank you, Kevin, for all you do, and everything you give us is really, really good. God bless you. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Our God is awesome. Awesome.
Amen. Amen.
TCL sounds like that somebody got a new TV. Y'all know that TCL TV. Come on, it was a TL, one of them TVs. Somebody got a new TV. Go ahead, TCL.
Yes, hi. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Welcome.
Oh, hi. I was just thinking, because I was watching something earlier today on YouTube about this lady that she started her own hot dog business in Washington State, and I don't know, she only been doing it probably like for 3 years now, but now she's making $720,000 a year selling hot dogs. And I was thinking about how there's no vegan food like that, street food like that, that's healthy. And she was talking about, because she goes to venues and stuff, and at stadiums and different things, and all she sells is hot dogs. That's it.
Are they vegan hot dogs, or she just selling hot dogs in general?
She's just selling hot dogs, but I was thinking, why couldn't healthy food be sold like that as well?
It can be, and there are people that's doing it. It can be. Matter of fact, it's a funny thing you said that too. Walmart, and y'all know how terrible Walmart is. Walmart has a brand called Darrin, Darlin, and my wife and my 9-year-old daughter, they get me, because every time we go to any store, our Walmart's over an hour away, but every time we go to any store, they pull out this scan, and they scan all the barcodes. It tells you all the carcinogens, poisons, and toxins and everything. And you know about that one. My wife, my 9-year-old, do that with everything. But Darrin has a plant-based meat that was, for the first time I saw Walmart have anything considered that scans perfect. They got a plant, and it comes in like it's made from the mushrooms, y'all know which ones I'm trying to say, that they make the meat and steaks and stuff out of. Oyster mushrooms and all that kind of stuff. But when you scans it scans perfect. And so some people are working in perfection and getting those things down. And then I saw somebody that takes carrots, my sister, when you said hot dogs, and they're making,
I've done carrot hot dogs before.
Thank you. They're making really carrot hot dogs, and they make them soak. They cut them right, soak, put them on.
You have to marinate them overnight.
Yes, ma'am.
They put them in the oven.
Dogs.
Yeah.
But there's tons of places that do sell food. I've done a business plan for somebody who has that, Vegan Meals that Heal. They got all kinds of things that they got going on there, and they got great plant-based dishes that you would not believe, and it can take off. And again, the only thing that sells us short is that we think small. Do not
Right.
think small. Team up with people. There are fleets of trucks that's available. There's grants that give you these vehicles. There's places that would buy your food. Matter of fact, there's Attorney St. George there. She's got an excellent plan and program for that. So you guys that are cooks, match up with Attorney St. George. Please do that for me. You guys that are great
Okay.
vegan cooks that can
Yeah,
cook
because
at home.
she went through and was talking about how much it costs for her to have her hot dog, the thing, the
Yes, ma'am.
grill, the everything. And it was probably like 12,000. And then of course you have to get your um license and your insurance. And
All that.
also you probably need a food
Certification. Yeah, need to be clean. Your food certification. Everything got
yeah,
to be
you have to do
inspected, all
that, which is not expensive. But she was just saying all the things, but the amount that she's making every month is like,
Yep.
and she said the biggest misnomer is that people think people that's on these streets selling hot dogs are poor, and they're not.
Nope. Very rich people. The people have to eat. I'm a professional eater. I've been eating since I was born. So people
But
people
they,
buy food. So we just, for us to be able to sell things like that, we could have really been such a, if again, the Bible says such to be great falling away. If we can literally come together, I mean, food, they would come to us first. They would come to Seventh-day Adventists for food. Because through the grace of God, we have the cleanest food. We can eat properly, healthy, all those kinds of things. And then we eat things that can heal us. What we eat should heal us, not kill us. Should heal you, not kill you.
right.
Okay. And God gave us
Thank
that.
you.
It should be for your meat. So thank you. We just need to work together. Brother David, how are you? Brother David, are you there? That's me. He's finna pop back in.
Good night, brother Kevin. Good night,
Good night.
everyone.
Hey, my brother.
I spoke to you yesterday.
Yep.
I wanted to ask you because I heard you mention Wisconsin, which is left field. I never heard somebody mention that. I heard of Iowa, Idaho. I heard of a couple other places, but um, if someone was to come to Wisconsin, let's say tomorrow, is there a plan already there as far as how we would live or where we would live or as
Yeah,
far
if
as
one
like
was to come with,
economic?
yes, if one was to come with money to purchase.
Okay.
No,
So
but
so
no, there is. If you go to realistically, what I mean, Wisconsin gives you, brother. I'm from Chicago, so I'm from the very next state, right? So
mhm.
when I came to Wisconsin, it was completely different. And literally, when I first moved to Wisconsin, I only lived 9 blocks in from the state line from Wisconsin. I'm literally 941 Park Avenue. Really, I can go outside and turn and look to the left and see into Illinois. Chicago was an hour and a half away. But the atmosphere, my brother, the air, everything changed completely. Prices, status, things you can do, things you got charged for, all of that stuff just disappeared. And then when we moved 4 hours further north to our country property, which is where we are now, you're talking about an atmosphere that you can breathe in. It's outstanding. And forestry that you can, just enjoy. The county we in has 110 river or lakes. I mean, and the resources are there. Nobody's bugging you. Nobody at your door. There's no race issues. None of those kinds of things. Even the bears are like, oh, hey, how you doing? Going about their business. The deers visit you every day. There's opportunities everywhere, but it's your mindset that has to change no matter where you are and where you go. Put God first in everything you do, and it'll be awesome. Wisconsin has a lot to offer. It does. Prices are very low. A lot of things are here, as in a lot of states. Various things, but you get more bang for your buck with land in Wisconsin. You get a lot of, and people. When I show people how to buy, I showed a guy who had a place I think he was in Maryland as well, and I showed him a property here that was $300,000. He had a property there that was $500,000. The one here was on 40 acres with a house with 3 barns. Okay, so you got all that for $300,000. So there's a bigger bang for your buck, and you don't have to spend that. I just showed someone on Realtor.com. If you go up there and put Price County, it's 109 acres for $125,000. If you spend an extra $1,500 with that, you can divide that up into individual single acreages or half acreages and be your own real estate agent. The Bible says, be the lender, not the borrower. Now you can sell plots to other SDA brothers and sisters. So there's tons of opportunities, not just in Wisconsin, for all over the place. So yeah, brother, my brother David, I'm hearing you. So yeah, set your mind up what you want to do. Call me. I'll look up some things for you, lay everything out for you, and you can get started. Even show you how to do things online and start making money and moving things immediately.
Yes, I will. Thank you, Brother Kevin.
God bless you, my brother.
God bless you.
Lori. Hey, Lori.
Hi. Thank
Hey,
you so much. This is a wonderful presentation. I just went on what is it?
Sam's.gov.
Sam.gov.
Yeah.
Yeah, and actually looked up some information. But and I'm finding just a plethora of things here. But I'm curious. I looked up one contract and it says, is it funded? And it says no. What does that mean actually then?
I don't
And
know.
some of them say active too.
No, no.
Really?
Is it funded? Give me an example. What is
Well,
funded?
it just says is funded, and it underneath that it says no.
Okay,
So
but that means the product they want, that you usually the product they want, you have to fund it. You submit it to them, they cut you a
okay,
check, be it 60 days, 30 days, whatever it is. It takes a while if you're dealing with the government for the first time. I think everybody will tell you that. They may delay your check 45, 60 days, that kind of thing, because they start doing business with you. After a while, it gets to coming out. When they had this pause in the government, some people weren't receiving checks for a minute, but other companies kept continue to get theirs. So usually, no, usually you have to submit, make sure you fund everything that they're asking for.
okay, okay. And then another question too. One of the other one is some of them say, 'cause I just put in health and wellness, and another one said active. So it's got a green button and it just says active next to it.
Well, they're looking for people. I mean, realistically. So you have a login already with sam.gov?
I just logged in. But I mean, I didn't sign up with them and all. I just logged in.
Just to log in. Wait till you get your login and then be specific.
Okay.
Because you'll always go see things that you may not fully understand, because even though it said not funded or say active and all those things, you still need to know the compliancy when you get that particular field, when you get that particular field. So
Right.
you look at more specific grants and then check the compliancy. That'll
Okay.
tell you everything that qualifies you. Talks about the
Okay.
numbers and everything, lets you know everything in detail.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Thank you so much.
Not a problem at all. Not a problem. So thank you guys. I wanted to make sure everybody was there before we get out of here. We're gonna pray and talk to somebody, but I want to talk to Attorney St. George. Are you still there, ma'am? Oh, probably not.
Yes, I am. No, I just
Still
took
here.
me.
Good, good.
Yes, I'm here.
You were doing something with the Green Initiative piece. I just wanted to leave it at the Green Initiative piece. Are you still doing that? What you want to do with the colleges and schools?
Yes, I am. And we are working with UDC, University District of Columbia, um, to launch the program there. And just for everyone, it's the HBCU College of Plant-Based Lifestyle Medicine. And the goal and the mission is to bring the Three Angels Plant-Based Lifestyle Medicine to the universities as a certificate program. So instead of asking them to come to our programs, we bring our educational program to certify their allied health students at the colleges, at the HBCU schools. And uh, we have MOUs with up to 5 schools already, and we're trying to expand. And I'm looking for people who have a passion for medical missionary work. And I've been doing this solo and regretfully as a lawyer fighting for religious liberty and plant-based religious liberty. It's been a lot for me. And so if there's anyone who is interested in working with me to one, get some grants with my dear sister so we can get paid opportunities, and specifically submit a proposal to HHS, because I do know the secretary of HHS, and they're doing a lot of big things, and they're going to have RFPs coming out in January specifically. And so I need some help. And these will result in job opportunities on these campuses to work under our nonprofit to deliver the program. So I will put in the link, our brochure, so that you can clearly see all that we have already done on all the different campuses to raise the knowledge. The students are waiting. They want to change their cafeteria food. The students are ready. It's just us rolling out the program. And it's us, like I said, training the cafeteria people to create a plant-based meal plan that the students can choose from, and then certifying the students so they can learn how to prescribe plant food as medicine, which is consistent with HHS. And just so that you know, just today, Secretary Kennedy and Dr. Oz mentioned that they're changing the Medicaid program based on my recommendation, just so that you know, so that doctors can prescribe food or plant food as medicine. I've been begging them, and I've been on the Secretary Kennedy campaign to help him get in that position. So this is ginormous. This is what God said will be the finishing work. And while there's a lot of noise on other issues from this administration, as you all well know, ICE and all the other issues, I believe that God is allowing those distractions so that the change that needs to come about in healthcare can happen. He is breaking up the criminal behavior of the medical industry. And I'm a medical malpractice lawyer also. Have been in the healthcare industry and still is. And God is opening the doors right now. And these other things are distractions so that Mr. Kennedy can make the changes that's now the pathway through which we can then do the medical missionary work the way Sister White already prophesied. And I'm doing it in the courthouse right now. I put in the link, my appellate brief, and I'm arguing that we have a fundamental right to choose scriptural plant-based lifestyle medicine and choose plants over drugs. And once we do that, between his legislation and his changes of Medicaid and us going before the courts, we will have accomplished what God says we're to do in these last days. So please, send me an email. You have my phone number in the chat. I'll put it in there for anyone. Text me if you would like to if you're already a medical missionary, if you're in the medical field. I need people today. Thank you so much for this opportunity to speak, Brother Fuller.
You're my sister, and our God is awesome, and I can't wait till you get this plant-based food that's going to get me to go to college just so I can eat. Because I like doing lunch twice a day. So when you get this food into college, I'll be all excited. People say, you went to college. I went to get some food, but yes, I went. So God bless you. Brother Oswald, how you doing?
I'm great, man.
I
Yeah,
saw Petula stick a head in there in the camera and duck back out. I saw that. Everything is
yeah,
good. Our
she's
God
right
is
there.
awesome.
She's right there.
There you go.
Brother
I see.
Kevin, you know, when I heard you mention like buying land in large quantity and then cutting it up,
Yes, sir.
I think we spoke to a realtor a couple months ago. We went and looked on a place, and there was 40 acres, and we're thinking of something like that. And she says the government now in Canada, they want to protect the farmlands.
Yes.
So what they're doing, they're only allowing you to cut 5 acres off.
Okay, that's Canada. Here,
Yeah.
here you can cut it up. As long as you can provide roads through, access everybody to have their own fire number or address. They call it a fire number. Yeah, you can. And with Wisconsin, you pay an additional $1,500, and you can divide that up, put your roads in, all those kinds of fun things, and you can break those down and sell those in 1/3 acre, half acre, 5 acre, 10 acre, 15 acre, or the kind of piece you want. Just making sure that they all have fire roads, so they got a way to get in and out of there, that kind of thing. But yeah, that's a great opportunity that people miss. You can become your own bank that way. Canada may, have a little different than the States. And then a lot of this stuff is all going to come to a head pretty soon, where a lot of these things just simply won't exist. And that's why I'm letting people know that we need to get moving now. How much more warning do we need? The Red Sea parted. Noah's Ark happened. They discovered it already. Something real quick, Oswald, was in the news 3 weeks ago, y'all, that, and sometimes they put stuff in the news and you just laugh at it. It says they witnessed and they saw at the bottom of the ocean where Pharaoh's chariots all were buried. Like, what?
Yeah.
And so they had remnants of that. But one thing we know for a fact, these things did actually happen. So we know that what's going to happen. Our God tells us the end from the beginning. He knows the end from the beginning, and he tells that to us. So we know we got to get moving. So whatever it takes, let's get moving so we can be financially stable. We can have our land. We can have people taken care of. We can be a blessing to God's people and be good to go. Okay?
Seems like I need to move to Wisconsin.
Reach out, brother. I got you. I'm trying to get people up here, but nobody's listening to me. Here we are. I saw a bear the other day trying to get in town, and he wasn't even aggressive. He was like, "Why y'all won't let me in town?" My first time actually seeing a bear in a while. It was awesome. It was awesome. It was outstanding. I just stayed in the car and went on through. So God bless you all. I'm going to pray, and then we can hang around just a little bit. I'm sorry. I see a hand. Cheryl. iPhone. There you
Yes,
go.
yes, I'm here.
Hey,
Thanks, Brother Kevin, for all that you have said. We, I really appreciate it. I have a question. I have two questions about the military.
yes, ma'am.
I'll only ask you one. The Probably about 20, maybe in the last 20 or 30 years, a lot of military bases have closed.
Yes, ma'am.
And uh, but you said those pieces of land were leased.
Yeah,
So,
military leases their land.
right. So if they are closed, that means the person that was leasing it is no longer being leased to them, correct?
Not necessarily. They could still be leasing it and it can close. Fort Sheridan in Illinois, when they closed that base, I did the last drill sergeant class there, last drill sergeant academy at Fort Sheridan. But when they closed that base, they sold it to a private entity, and they broke it down and broke them up into, like I'm talking about this land in Wisconsin, broke everything up because they had the big general's quarters and all those, and they
Right.
sold, break it all down and sold them into mansion spots. So they sold that one. But a lot of the military bases that close, a lot of that land is still leased by the government. They still pay that money because in the event of there's a situation, they still got spaces to go and expand. Another thing is they're going to use those for, they can use those for other issues. So when I'm just want to say some things,
Hmm.
it can be where they store people. But I went to Germany back in 1987. I went to Germany, and a lot of the old vehicles and everything that they drove in World War II and Vietnam, they literally have those stored on the shelves on these bases in wax paper.
Mm.
In the event of a crisis in a situation, they can pull that out. So a lot of these military bases that close still has other purposes, if that makes sense.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
okay. That's what I was asking. All right, thank you.
No problem. You had one more question. Go ahead and get it in there, and then I'm gonna go to Chris Briss.
Okay, all right. Well, uh, I witnessed, this was years ago. I know military bases, of course, the active ones, they have their troops and they feed them, I think at least twice a day,
Three
uh,
times.
3 times a day.
Yes, ma'am. And plus at any time, they can go to the chow hall. Plus they have the PX, which is the Post Exchange, the main store, Pizza Hut, and all those other things on base. But at
Oh,
three meals a day, they do give them.
okay. Well, okay. I'm talking about back in the day.
Go ahead.
Uh, and I'm not sure if all military cafeterias have this or mess halls. Um, a trash can that might be like a stainless steel trash can where, of course, they um, dump their food in, food that they don't want, it goes in the trash. It's
Right.
trash for them. But I do know back in the day, military base, Fort Dix, New Jersey, would
I was there.
give,
I was there.
okay, they would give their slop, as they called it, that was in the trash can, to a farmer down the road, and he would use it to feed his pigs. Now,
Sure.
did that farmer have to sign up with the government to get that?
Yes, ma'am. The reason why he had to good question, really good question. The reason why he had to sign up and become part of the he actually had to become part of the government basically with that contract. That's what you basically doing when you go in and sign up for this. And the reason why he had to do that because he had to be compliant, he had to be allowed to get on post, he had to stick to everything he had to do. He had rules and regulations. It's almost like he was a sergeant or a specialist or a private. He had duties he had to do because if you go awry with anything you do wrong, you go to jail. If he took that food and gave it to somebody and somebody got sick, he's going to jail. He's in trouble. You do all those things. So yeah, that he did have to sign up for that. That is a contract. That's something you can bid on to get the waste. The company I work for, Kettle Soup, Kettle Potato Chips, owned by Campbell's Soup. We also do that. We have chips that goes to in this bin. It gets crushed in the bags. It gets crushed and smashed. And there's a
Right.
pig farmer that comes and picks that up. Unless it had glass or iron, metal or shavings or something in it that goes in a whole different area. But yeah, our company does that too. So yeah, the person has to bid on that to win that contract. Just like the
Oh,
person has to bid on that to because it's feeding his pigs. He's making money off the pigs getting fat. Just like the
correct.
person who provides the potatoes, all those things, people have to bid on that as well. So yes, ma'am, he had to bid on that.
All right. Well, thank you for that.
You're welcome. Okay. Chris Briss, my brother. God bless. Then I see after Chris, then I see Lynette, and then it'll be the last one. Then we'll pray, and then if you guys need to hang around for a bit, it'll be just fine. So Chris, go ahead, Chris.
Good evening, good night, everyone. Brother Kevin, did you get my text?
I did get
Yes.
your text, and you had that song playing. You were singing to me.
Yeah. I just want to share, and I know you listen to the song, Brother Kevin. You always say to us, do something.
Yes,
You
sir.
always say to me, Chris, do something.
Do something. Do something.
Do something, right? So I have a good friend that would always say to me, use AI, my brother. He's a great researcher. He is extremely powerful with the gospel. And he will always say to me, use AI, my brother. And he would point me in the direction. Well, recently he showed me how to make music by using AI.
AI song.
And that song that I sent you is because I was thinking about it all week. What can I give Brother Kevin that he can use for the ministry he has, which is Get Out of the City? And that's the title of the song that I sent to you. You heard it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And you know, I'm listening to you and amount of different things. Don't be intimidated by AI because God is above AI. You could use it for your advantage or you could use it for your disadvantage. You know, everything you do in life, the Bible says, whatsoever you do it all to the glory of God.
Yep.
So I finally took my brother's advice after ignoring him for months.
And did something.
And did something. And I am blown away how occupied research is so much easier.
Yes, sir.
I did all my research on Google, but even Google is AI now. But taking it to an AI platform to do my research, and now I'm learning Greek and Hebrews. I'm just using AI, you know.
Sure.
And I am amazed. So what am I saying? What am I sharing? As Brother Kevin always said, do something. There are technology there to help you advance in these last days, you know, and there's no shortage of information. When I tell you no shortage, not even a pigeon, not even a tip. So anything you want to know in life, you could use AI to help you. Of course, you remember you still have to know your Bible. You know you have to know your word.
There you go.
Because if you don't, it will give you some crazy stuff. It will get you. But you got to know your word.
Thank you, my brother.
So how I do my research on AI for those, I do it from an Adventist perspective. Everything that I tell it to do, I do it from a 7-day Adventist perspective, and I also say spirit of prophecy and Bible based, nothing else. And everything it does, it gives me my Bible spirit of prophecy based research. What am I saying?
Does it feed you? Does it feed you?
It doesn't feed you, but it can make you the money to feed you.
You go
This
with
is
it.
where I'm going.
Okay.
So now how you use it is to help build your business. I have several business plan right now on AI just sitting there that if somebody, I could actually sell it to someone.
There you go. So listen,
there's nothing you can do.
I need you on the Brothers to Brothers coming up on the 20th. Make sure you're there, and I'm going to talk to you later so you can put together a plan for Brothers to Brothers.
Okay.
Yeah, I need you for that on the 20th. I'll let you know about that.
Yeah, let me know.
Talk tomorrow. I got you. Thank you. We'll put that together. Lynette, let me get Lynette before she beat me up, and then In-Home Academy. Lynette Jordan.
Okay, no, actually, that was a technical problem. I don't know why I keep trying to lower. I don't know why my hand went up and I keep trying to lower it and it keeps coming up. So sorry.
Well, you ain't got no question bubbling in the back of the heart there? Okay.
I do, but I'll probably touch bases with you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
God bless. All right, In-Home Academy.
Okay.
How you doing, Brother Kevin?
Never had a bad day. Our God is awesome, my brother. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. I wasn't going to say anything, but I think I will say something concerning some discussion a little while ago with trust.
Yes, sir.
And coming out the system. And of course, I don't, of course, this is just my opinion. I don't cater in that direction about coming out the system. There's so much right now that if anything's even breathed into the system, you're going to be attacked. and of course, it takes a lot of time to study and to get all that stuff together. However, I will say this: one can get a type of trust that is outside of the control of government.
Yes, sir.
And be able to function and operate. You're not coming out the system, but you're just operating within that trust, which means that you're operating outside of the system.
Oh, absolutely.
And all of your business you can do through that trust. And matter of fact, the government likes you because the things that you do is going to benefit them at the same time. Nevertheless, there are ways that people can do things and not try to pull out, because when you pull out, there's a lot of ramification that a lot of people don't recognize. And but you are able to do some things and to be able to operate completely outside without control and be able to handle your business very easily.
Absolutely. There's lots of trust like that. Yes. There's lots of trust like that. There's a 501c3, there's a 508. 508 gives you more privacy than the government, except a lot of the grantors recognize 501c3s in the millions and billions of dollars. But there's a 508 that people don't know about that has a lot of their various things there with privacy and security and safety. A lot of that is there. Again, a lot of trust that will do just what you said. However, I'm still going to do my however. I got to, because we got to weigh both sides of this. It won't stop it when it's time, bro. It won't help you when it's time. If you don't prepare now, if you're not on country property, if you're not sustaining, have it in a trust. Please do that. And you should. I recommend you do a trust. If you can afford it, you can do it. Get your things in the trust. But don't think that when the time comes that they're not just walking onto your land and taking what you have. People gonna kill you dead. They care nothing about a trust. It's gonna be a bear or a lion that gonna say, listen, rawr, that beast. I do not care. And that's what we literally have to look at. Again, get a trust, put it there, because it's there, it's good for you. But when that time comes, it ain't gonna help us. We don't even care, because we pick up and we walk. Because you can't put that land in your pocket and say, I got to trust. No, you better trust God and get out of Dodge. Exactly. But yes, today I'm with you. I say that if you can afford it, put your land in the trust. God grant us time where your family, it passes down to your family, those kinds of things. Those things are hedged against. But also make sure that trust is well funded. Because when those funds run out, then they, take things away. But don't overfund that trust and then neglect preparation.
Exactly.
Okay, there you go. Yeah. I got you.
Right. And just the fact that the things that we have belong to God, you want to hold on to as long as you can.
Yes,
but
sir.
Again, everything at some point will be taken away.
Absolutely. I'm gonna get up and walk away from this cell phone so quick. And everybody buying them big old giant televisions and lazy boy recliners, you got to have your walking shoes ready and your backpack at the door. Those times are just coming where we know it's going to be rough. But until then, occupy till I come. Thank you, my brother. God bless you. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, our God in heaven, we thank you, God, again for such an amazing night, such an amazing Zoom. Thank you for all the people here. Lord, forgive us our sins and our transgression. God, we ask you, God, to even bring to our memory our past sins, God, so that we can beg your forgiveness. God, the living know they must die. The dead knows nothing. This may frighten people, God, but this is our opportunity before probation close on us for us to get right with you, God. So, God, just God, change our hearts, wash us, cleanse us, twist us, bend us, wash us whiter than fuller soap, God, so that we be right, that our names be found written in the Lamb's book of life. God, we thank you. We ask that this Zoom be a blessing for your people. As you ask Peter to feed my sheep, feed my lambs. God, that this be a blessing, God, that this give people awesome directions, God, and it gives them the oomph and the lift they need, God, to make moves in different directions. So thank you for this ministry, There Are People Ministry, and our team, God, and our listeners and our family, God, that we continue to grow. God, bless them, keep them, cover them under your blood. Let the Holy Spirit rest, root, and abide in all of our steps. We send these prayers up to you, our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, in the most holy place of the heavenly sanctuary. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. So
Amen.
thank you all.